This is the face of a jealous man. This is the face of a man with jealousy and envy in his heart. One of the 7 deadly sins, truly.
This isn't alcohol, but I really wish it were.
I wish this was cough syrup.
Why? Okay.
Because I made you just don't like that I accomplished something in my life for the first time. I think that's what it is. Hang on, I'm like off. I'm off center.
You are, and I'm always visible to you. So. I need to make sure they can see the green goo. So.
Yeah, the really well photoshopped on green goo.
This isn't okay. This is bullying. This is harassment. This is something else.
And what about it? Is that who's to say? What about it? What are you gonna do about it? Fucking chump.
I don't know. I can't really. I can continue leveling up, I guess. You know what I did? So my sister has never played the game, right?
Yes.
So I just did a bunch of duos with her in an attempt to, face a bunch of noobs and level up. And like I only leveled up like 6 times. And by the end of it, I'm like, okay, this is not really working. And then literally 2 minutes later, I checked Twitter and you were flexing your fucking black suit. I'm like, what am I supposed to do now? What am I supposed to do? Chill out and actually buy V-Bucks or fucking levels or whatever?
No, you just gotta get good. No. You just gotta do those milestones, baby. Do those. There's so many quests. Have you done the quests?
I'm doing a good amount. I do focus on the quests. A good amount,
not all of them though.
I have not done all of them. I do the Chantel ones and then I forget about them and then I'm like, all right.
I don't even know who that is. I did those so long ago. I forgot those were a thing. Yeah. I did those like the first two days of the season starting.
Okay, you sweat at this fucking I call it a children's game, and then I spent all my time playing it.
No, it is a children's game, and that's why I love it, because I get to beat up a bunch of 12-year-olds. That's the most fun thing in the world. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Fanboy Talk. This is TroyBoy17 coming at you live. I'm joined by my co-host and person that does not have the black suit in Fortnite, or any Spider-Man in Fortnite, Mithi from Film Caffeine. How's it going, Mithi?
That Tom Holland suit left the store and I could have just grinded it. Did I think, and I could have just grinded a little bit more for like 2 weeks and I could have gotten it because I was like 200 V-Bucks away and now I don't have it and it's going to come back and it's going to be like 2,000 V-Bucks and I'm going to be like, all right, what can I do? Nope, sorry. And I'm never going to get to play Spider-Man again. I have Carnage. You don't have Carnage.
Yeah, I don't need Carnage because I've got this guy.
Okay, but I have Carnage. That's why did you have to screenshot in the T pose too?
Because it's funny,
like of all things.
Because it's like, what if I'm faking it? How will people know for sure? Unless
we know because it's the T pose.
For audio listeners, we're talking about the black suit Fortnite skin, by the way, in case that wasn't obvious. Because I have it and Mithi does not. I want to make that clear.
I love how
title of this podcast is going to be Mithi does not have the black suit in Fortnite.
Do I have to make that fucking thumbnail too?
Yes, you do.
Goodness. That's torture.
Put a picture of yourself, put a big teardrop on you, and then that'd be funny actually. Because then we can continue the trend of having clickbaity Spider-Man thumbnails for this podcast. Because what are we gonna do? Okay. Now the movie's out. What do we fucking do?
I don't know. I've been thinking about it. Right?
We have to make a real podcast now. We have to actually.
I looked at the Fanboy Talk thumbnails, and I'm like, all of these are getting like 1 point something K views, and they're all Spider-Man thumbnails. And I'm like, okay, do I do Batman era now? I guess, but
I think the Batman era starts in February.
Yeah,
but right now we're in this dead space.
Imagine if that happens.
It's not getting delayed. There's no fucking way.
Imagine if.
All right. We said Gal Gadot.
Yeah. Don't remind me of that too, please. You're reminding me of the worst things. You're just giving me through like a. You're putting me through a roller coaster here.
I'm not going to let you forget that. By the way, we heard many criticisms from the last episode because the last episode went on the main channel.
Yeah, we did hear many criticisms about
many criticisms about us talking over each other. And I'm just going to say now, it's never going to stop. We're going to forever talk over each other. It's never going to stop.
Problem. I don't think we ever have to talk over each other.
How could this be a problem? We don't do it. I don't know what they're talking about. Before in our life.
It's not a thing, and everyone keeps saying it, and it's not a thing.
But yeah, so we apologize for that, but we're never gonna stop. That's our brand.
Stop. I don't care. Yeah.
But have you been, Mithi? We took a couple weeks off for the holidays.
Yeah,
we're back.
I took a couple weeks off for the holidays. I went back home. I watched movies. Guess what I watched? I watched the first Mission Impossible movie for the first time.
I've actually never seen it. I'm a little bitch. I've never seen it.
Yeah, well, I was even more of a bitch because I called the last one my favorite movie, and I never even watched the first one.
Yeah, that's pretty.
But I did.
That's an L.
That's pretty.
That's what the kids call an L.
L plus ratio plus Club Mithi is dead. I really, really, really loved it, and I think that I should have watched it a long time ago. Yes. Because oh my goodness, I noticed so many little like filmic little isms in there, or whatever the fuck they're called.
That's all I know.
Yeah, the Dutch angles are a big.
Dutch angles are great. When did people start hating Dutch angles?
Thor.
Why?
I think it's Thor.
Dutch angles are cool. They're rad.
Because they show because they shot a Dutch angle.
I should Photoshop the backdrop to be at a Dutch angle. That'd be really funny, actually.
Fortnite, but it's shot by fucking
Kenneth Branagh.
Kenneth Branagh, yeah.
It's Branagh, I believe, right?
I thought it was Branagh.
I've always heard it was Branagh, but I have no fucking clue.
Mm-hmm. He's the guy who plays the professor in Chamber of Secrets, right? I think.
Yeah, I guess so.
I think so.
I only know
funny the range
Wild
between
West.
That and like the villain of Tenet. I can't forget that he directed Thor, and he's also the villain of Tenet. And it's I
didn't realize he was the villain. That's pretty funny. Have you ever seen Wild Wild West?
No, I have not.
You are missing the fuck out. That is the most stupid bullshit movie on the face of the earth.
Is that the one with the spider at the end or whatever?
Which was supposed to be in a Superman movie? Did you watch the documentary about the death of the
I didn't watch any documentary, but I heard I saw an article about something related to Superman and the Wild West and that spider being like pulled from a Superman concept.
To sum up the amazing documentary by the late John Schnepp, fantastic documentary, fantastic dude. Rest in peace. Cool. It's a great documentary. It's about the Nicolas Cage Tim Burton movie that got canceled. The Superman one.
Flyby.
Yeah. What was it called? It was Superman Lives, I think it was called, right? And
I thought it was Flyby. Is Flyby different?
No, Flyby's the J.J. Abrams one. Which a whole other level of dumb that I don't want to see. But the Tim Burton one, a bunch of shit was going to be crazy in it. I wish it happened because it's so... Like, if it happened in our universe, like, if it came out, we would fucking hate it.
Oh, wait. Is this the one, which I don't know if anyone... Do we need to do a spoiler warning for a failed
that didn't
script?
Happen? No.
Yeah, I was going to say. I was just thinking about that. I don't know. I was just thinking about that for a second. Like, would anyone want that? No. Is that the one where RDJ was going to play Lex Luthor, but he's like a Kryptonian or something?
I don't remember. I don't remember anything about RDJ. All I know is like, I mean, I don't know. It went through like a million fucking scripts, so like it's hard to say.
Okay. Yeah, probably.
But like, Kevin Smith was writing the script, and the producer guy whose name I can't fucking remember, he was like adamant. He's like, put a giant spider in it. Somehow you got to fit a giant robot spider into this movie. That's the most important thing in the world. Kids love robot spiders. He was obsessed with this idea of a robot spider in a Superman movie. And Kevin had to like figure it out. And he was like, all right, fine. I guess fucking Brainiac becomes a giant spider or some shit. The movie never gets made. Like 5-10 years pass. Kevin Smith is sitting in the movie theater watching Will Smith's Wild Wild West, a masterpiece of cinema, greatest film ever made. And the end has this big gigantic robot spider as the big climactic fight, and then the credit says produced by the same fucking guy, and he's like, there he is, there's the giant spider.
He took it.
It's the funniest fucking thing in the world. It's great. I love it. Watch that documentary.
Maybe it was
it's really
fun. His kid had an obsession, maybe he just had an obsession.
I have no idea. It's so weird because that movie's not for kids. That movie's nowhere near for kids.
There's a thing where like producers or directors will be like, yeah, my kid wanted this in the movie, so I put it in it for them. It's like, no, actually just an inner part of yourself. But it's
so weird to be obsessed with that concept so much that it transfers projects entirely into
that doesn't even make sense.
It's not even a superhero thing, but a cowboy movie. It's a cowboy movie. It's like a cowboy spy movie. It's like such a stupid fun. It's a fine. It's not good, but it's kind of a fun concept. It's like a steampunky,
Now I'm just imagining the scenes in Man of Steel where like Superman's saving people and like people are being altruistic and weird in the fucking background. Like when he's dragging the ship that like had an oil spill or whatever across the iceberg. And like instead it's just a big spider that he's just lugging with him.
Or those little
Superman be trusted as a big spider? It's just in the fucking background.
Or the terraformers in Man of Steel, and they're just giant spiders walking around.
Spiders.
They kind of look a little spidery, so like
they do. They just 3 of them instead of 8. But
But there's multiple of the terraformers, so it all adds up.
That's true.
To not 8,
true.
but to something.
It's 6, and then just imagine one's there and it's an amputee.
Exactly.
So, exactly.
But what you watch anything else? Any
okay, I watched Mission
we didn't
Impossible.
do like a real podcast last time, so like
we did not really. We that episode doesn't count, even though it's probably successful. I'm trying to think, what else did I do? I watched Shutter Island again, and that was fun.
Banger. I love that fucking movie.
I think it is banger. I watched it again, and I'm like, this is very slow.
It is a violence.
Slow movie. Yeah. And it's like, it's not necessarily a horror movie. It's more a thriller. But like, it's like you see them covered in blood. And I'm like, okay, what's the point of this shot? I get it. It's really slow. And maybe that's just a Scorseseism that I don't fully comprehend. And I'm like, a lot of this movie can be, I guess,
you're used to Marvel movies, the theme parks.
Yes, I'm used to Marvel movies, so I just wanted to be a Marvel movie because I'm an MCU shield now.
Where's the post-credit scene, huh? Where's the post-credit scene to set up?
Where's the fucking post-credit scene?
Where's the multiversal spin-off crossover, huh?
Yeah.
With every Leonardo DiCaprio movie.
Yeah, exactly. He's playing the same character in Wolf of Wall Street too, right? And there's a tie-in.
Yeah, and then same with Don't Look Up.
They point at each other through the portal, and they're like, "Hey, it's you!" And then they recreate the Spider-Man meme. Every post-credit scene from now on is just gonna be the pointing at each other meme from Spider-Man. Every single one.
Wait, yeah, you mean the fucking Spider-Verse one?
Yeah, basically the Spider-Verse
is
one,
the blueprint. Spider-Verse really is the blueprint.
Yeah,
everything.
Yeah, and just apply that to everything now. It's just at the end of every movie, fucking Fortnite Spider-Man comes in and points at the character.
Now that would be talking.
Yeah, exactly. What else do you do? What do you watch? What do you do?
I watched actually a good amount. I did a good amount. I watched Cobra Kai, the new season. Have I ever talked about Cobra Kai? I don't think we were talking about it.
You talked a bit about me, but I can't talk today. You talked a bit about it to me, but I don't think
I don't think I've mentioned it on the podcast. I fucking love that show. That show is the Spider-Man show I've been needing for like my whole life. It's actually kind of very, it's like, I'm not even a big Karate Kid guy. I'm like not, it's a fine movie, It's a good 80s like sports movie. But like, it's this very interesting discussion of like violence and like mentorship and like the importance of community when you're a child and shit like that. And like father figure. It's really fucking great. I fucking love that show. And then the guy who's playing Blue Beetle is in it. He's amazing. He's the fucking best part of that show. I love him.
Yeah, that's the same guy.
Yeah.
And that got announced to get a theatrical release.
Thank God. Right? Thank fucking God. Finally, DC did something good, which we'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about that later.
There's some shit there.
Oh, I watched Little Women. Greta Gerwig.
Yeah.
And I watched it because my sister read the book and I never read the book, and I was like, let me just enjoy this. It was very, very good. Surprisingly, I
surprisingly, what, hate women or something? This Justin,
yes, especially they're little.
Breaking news.
Listen, I've been playing too much Fortnite. Okay.
Yeah, I would just watch Little Women. I'm just gonna steal the Adam Driver joke. There's a lot of women in there.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was like surprised that the emotion surprisingly got to me in a way that I didn't expect it to. So yeah, great movie.
I need
wholesome
to watch
too, very wholesome. So
very good
I'm trying to think of what other like new stuff I watched. And I didn't really watch that much. I guess we can talk about this later. I don't know if you watched. Did you watch The Matrix?
I did not. I haven't seen the other sequels, so I'm
not getting into spoilers or anything, but. It's interesting. Brian and I talked about it a little bit, and some other people. I've seen
people that like I respect be on totally other sides of the thing, which is different from something like it's different from like a Last Jedi, where like kind of everybody who I respect is like on
either
the same
on one side and
then everybody who like I'm not gonna get into it, but like all my buddies like it, and then all my people that I don't like,
or people are very like in the middle of like there are things I like and there are things I dislike and I just don't care anymore. That's kind of how I feel like a lot of people are being with The Matrix. Of there's a lot of things I like, there are a lot of things I dislike, and it's gone to a point where I just don't care. And like that's how I feel about this movie. It's good. I think it's a fun watch. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, I don't know if I like these things. I'll say the only thing you have to go into it, only mindset thing I can't talk today at all. Jesus. Man, the only mindset you should have. I know. The only mindset you should have going into it is like they're gonna reference stuff from the old movies and they're gonna be like, this is different, and like you have to kind of expect that.
Okay.
Because I feel like a lot of the movie is throwing it in your face that's like, no, see, we're ridiculing this thing, but we get to have our cake and eat it too.
Yeah,
and I don't like a good amount of that, especially towards like the second half of the movie. But it is what it is. It's a fun movie, at least. It's people are shitting on the action a lot, and it's like it's not as good as the other action in the other movies, but like it's fun, I guess. You know, they did you see throw each other into walls.
Would you say like the 2 and 3 are like mandatory?
I did not see 2 and 3. I only saw 1. So like as long as you understand that there's a thing called the Matrix and there's a world outside of the Matrix and
I don't know that. That's crazy.
Oh, there's like because like I know, right? It's like is it like the green stuff with the numbers going down?
I thought that was the Matrix.
Yeah, that's the whole movie is just that the whole time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you don't really need to know much. The movie gives you enough context that it's not a soft reboot. It still is a sequel to all 3 of those movies, but they show clips from the old movies and shit for you to understand what's going on.
That's what Cobra Kai does, actually, and I tweeted about this. My favorite fucking thing about Cobra Kai, nobody on the face of the earth that I have met in my life has ever seen any Karate Kid besides the first one and maybe the Jaden Smith one. Like, I have never met a single person in real life that's like, I love the Karate Kid 3. But they because they've run out of characters from the first movie because there's only like 4 fucking characters in that. They keep on bringing back like people from 2 and 3, and they do this. But no one knows who they are. They do these crazy reveals, and it's like it's treated like Endgame, and it's just some old guy, and I'm like, I don't know who you are, but I think you're important. It's really fucking funny. But then they like flash back to the old movies in like they do a good job of like not requiring you to watch it. But you do sometimes feel like it's like the fucking Lex Luthor thing with Flash. It's like the show is like, look at, oh my god, this guy's back. Whoa, isn't that crazy? And I'm just like, I don't know who the fuck this old guy is, but hell yeah.
Just cheer along because the movie's telling you.
We love the fan service. I found out. I watched an interview with fucking Ralph Macchio, and this is the most infuriating thing in the world to me. Jaden Smith is not going to be in this show ever. He has said this.
Is it the same continuity?
He said it's not. That's bullshit. Okay. There's no fucking reason why it can't be because they're in China in the Jaden Smith movie. Yeah. It's way off in a different country. Of course, they're not going to reference some random Japanese dude in America. Like, that's not how it works. But fucking Ralph Macchio was like, no, it's not in the Miyagi verse. I'm like, what does that even mean? What does that fucking mean, dude? Just because Will Smith's a fucking producer. Just bring him in.
Is?
Yeah. I don't know. I actually like the Jaden Smith. Make money. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
I kind of like the Jaden Smith movie. It's like it's different and it's fun, and like Kung Fu is a more.
I watched it on the plane when I was really young, and I thought it was fun. And then I watched it a second time when I was older, and I'm like,
there's nothing really to it. It'd just be cool to get like a cameo from Jaden or fucking Jackie Chan or some shit.
Yeah. Yep.
But Cobra Kai's really great. I would recommend it if you're like free. You can watch like each season in a day because they're really short.
That's what I think the craziest thing about Cobra Kai is I still remember that it premiered on YouTube. Like that was YouTube originals.
You can kind of tell, like it is kind of filmed. Not to disrespect it because it is actually pretty well shot and the fight choreography is fucking fantastic. It kind of looks like a YouTube video sometimes. I'm like this frame rate is a little too high for the kind of cinematic thing they're going for. Like it feels like it's at 60. I don't think it's at 60. I think it might just be at 30. But it's like it feels a little too like YouTuber-y.
That's it.
Like film
between 24 and 30. That's the thing. Is like 24 feels cinematic and 30 is not that much different. Yeah. But it might just
and I guess it's a TV show, so it makes sense. But because it's in 16:9, it makes it feel even more like a YouTube video. You know.
And my camera is going at 10 basically, so
we love that. Mine was going a little bit slower, but too. I don't really know. I don't know.
Yours looks at like 24/30.
We'll figure it out. But but no, I would watch Cobra Kai. I really love it. It's like so cool. It's what else? I watched. Did you see Don't Look Up?
Go ahead. Yes, I did. Do we want to talk about this?
Sure. What did you think of Don't Look Up?
I really like The Big Short.
Okay.
I really like The Big Short. The Big Short is one of my favorite fucking movies of all time. It's great. It's an amazing movie. Okay. Adam McKay, ever since he fucking left Will Ferrell's comedy shit, has been just making amazing style movies, right? Because he did that, and then I watched the first season of Succession, and it was fucking amazing. And I'm like, okay, Adam McKay,
I didn't know he
did
the first season of Succession.
He produced it. He didn't direct all of it, but he directed a few episodes. Right. He's a big hand in the creation process.
Okay.
And then I watched Vice, and I was like, you know what? People give Vice some shit.
Vice, I think it was really good. I didn't see The Big Short, but I enjoyed Vice when I first saw it. I think, from my understanding, the criticism I saw was that it was too much like The Big Short, which that's valid.
But if you like The Big Short, you'll like Vice, I think. And
Vice was fine. It was cool.
This came out, and I watched it. In the first like 30 minutes of the movie, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm jiving with this. This is cool. I really like this, and I really enjoy what's going on. And as the movie keeps going, I was like, oh, this is hurting me, but in a good way. And then the movie keeps going, and I'm like, maybe this is hurting me in a bad way. Like, I don't know. I don't think it's a bad movie, but I feel like towards the middle of the movie, then to the end, I'm like, you're just going on and on and on.
It's
and
way
I want you to...
too long for what it is.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't hate it as much as I did when I first saw it. I've kind of like calmed down a little bit. Now, and this is going to sound really disrespectful. I got nothing against Adam McKay, but I really think that telling a story about climate change, because it's a very obvious, and this is not a spoiler, it's very obvious climate change. Just from the premise, you can tell it's a climate change.
It's allegory. Leo. He fucking
super
loves
fucking
talking
obvious.
about this.
It's super fucking obvious. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, it's a very fatalistic way of interpreting that, and I think that's kind of lazy. I think anybody can make a story that's depressing and like dark, and not having like, and just being like, oh, look at how bad it is, and it takes like real talent to like make something like hopeful and positive out of that.
Yeah,
I know it's more complicated than that. I know like. It just, when I watched it, I was like, I'm getting the same message from watching this 2.5 hour movie as I would from just reading the plot synopsis. You know, I understand, like if I were just to read about it and read what happened in 10 seconds, I would get the same feelings. You know, it's like, we'll talk, we can talk, if you want to, how long?
We can talk spoilers, I guess. I mean, for now, I'll say if you haven't watched it, give it a watch, I guess, if you have the time. It's long, just be prepared for that.
Really, yeah, okay, so skip like, here, I'll put a timer for 5 minutes.
Do it.
But, I don't know, I just like, hang on. Yeah, so skip 5-ish minutes ahead if you don't look up spoilers. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, hang on. I'm gonna start the timer. Oh god. Timer. Okay. We'll do 4:30. We'll do 4:30 just to account for this. Start.
Yeah.
It's a fatalistic thing, and the point is, to me, it had this very like, oh, we're all gonna die, ha ha ha, so funny, like not so funny, but like it was just I don't know, the fact that
the whole thing is supposed to be like, you watch The Big Short, and yes, it's a funny movie. But when it's serious, it is serious. Vice, it's got a good amount of comedy to it. But when it's serious, it's fucking serious. This movie, when it gets to be serious, it still treats it like a joke.
Yeah.
Like when Leo's yelling at the camera.
That was
yes,
weird.
That's supposed to be a serious moment, but it just feels like a fucking joke.
I was like, this gives me the vibes of like when TikTok says, look at the best actors in the world, and then they just show a clip of a bunch of white guys yelling. I was like, Leo's a good actor. He's a very talented actor. This was not his best work. It's like he wasn't even bad, but I was just like, this is like, where are we coming from here?
Yeah.
And just the thing that kind of, because Don't Look Up broke me. I'm gonna pull High Top Films. The thing that kind of like broke me about this whole thing is climate change is a very young person problem. Like people 25 and under have been saying for years to all these people, hey, this is a problem. We need to fix it because it's our problem. People who are 50, 60, they don't have to fucking deal with it,
Yeah.
And it felt a little weird for a guy that, and again, no disrespect to Adam McKay, because he's made good stuff and he seems like a decent guy. It felt a little weird for a guy that's 53 years old to make a movie that's like, haha, we're fucked, am I right? All right, see ya. It just, and no, having not as much, like the sheer concept of everybody, we have 6 months to live, what do we fucking do? You can have that political commentary, but in 3 or 4 years, that political commentary is going to be nowhere near as relevant. Or it'll be relevant, but like the Trump jokes won't land as well. The vaccine jokes won't land as well. Like all these things won't. It feels like it's a TV thing, It feels
like a movie that was supposed to be released like last year.
Yeah.
And
it's like all the stuff is just very outdated, and it doesn't even say anything particularly unique about the human experience. And like I thought that they were going to do something, and they kind of do at the end where it's like they're just sitting and having dinner with their family. But then like, what about all these other people? It drags on for too long. Yeah. But then what about fucking J-Law's family and Timothy's family and the one guy's family? And like, it felt so weird to me.
And that moment also just drags on to the point where I'm like, okay, they're going to die. Yep. They're going to die.
And I'm like,
okay, they're going to die? Okay, they're dying. And it's like, they die now? They die now?
Yeah.
But I don't know. It just, the last, I was fine with the first half of this movie, honestly. But I feel like that's, when you have a premise as big as a meteor is coming to fucking destroy the Earth, yes, the idea of making it a full political commentary makes sense.
Yeah.
But it gets to a point past the midpoint where I'm like, can we please move on to something else other than Facebook analogies?
Yeah,
you know?
I was
sick of the fucking Facebook guy.
Yeah.
The fucking Facebook, like, I was like, the moment that started happening, I was like, this movie is losing me. I get it, and I get that you're making fun of Mark Zuckerberg, but who gives a fuck? We get it. He's a crazy person.
And the thing that was like really weird is like, not to get into my billionaire shit, climate change. God, I'm gonna get into billionaire shit. Climate change is directly all this stuff is because of so many big corporations like GM and like all these like corporations and factories that are polluting and shit. The idea that like it's the individual person's fault is like kind of bullshit. Yeah. So the fact that this movie didn't make any, like, it had this evil billionaire, right, quote unquote evil billionaire, but he was just kind of an asshole. Yeah. But he was the only one. Felt like kind of a wasted opportunity to me. And like, I don't know, maybe I think I expected too much from this, you know,
because the trailer looked awesome. And it's like, and I think also because that still takes me back to The Big Short, where you show Mark Baum in an audience and like he asks the guy who's like one of the fucking spokespersons for like Bear on like the fucking housing market. And he's like, what are the percentages that your stocks are going to keep going the way that they are? And he's like, oh yeah, 100%. It's awesome. And then he fucking in the middle of the entire presentation just goes 0%, and walks out. And right as you see that, one of the characters.
The end of our spoiler talk.
There we go. Yep. This is not spoilers for Don't Look Up. But the moment that happens, fucking Jared Vinette looks at the camera. He's like, that happened in real life. This is what I had to deal with. And I feel like the impact of that moment only lands because you get the reference that that's a real moment in time and you feel that impact. Mm-hmm. And Don't Look Up just by this, because of the premise it has, doesn't have any of that, I guess, fiesta to it. You know, that Big Short or Vice did. Yeah. So
one good thing though, because I don't want to be like totally an asshole about this movie. Timothy Chalamet was really funny. I really liked him. Him and Jonah Hill were great. They were my favorite parts of the movie, and everybody else I didn't give a fuck about, but I liked them. Yeah. So
Yep. Yeah. I think it's like it's funny to see. Like Timothy's not a bad actor.
No, he's a very good. I've grown to like really like that guy. Like a lot. He's probably cool. He is my favorite skinny white boy at the moment.
Yeah, there you go.
I want to replace Tom Holland with him. Replace Tom with Tim.
Skinny white boys. Yeah, there you go.
S tier, we got Timothy. A tier, I don't get into it. What other skinny white boys are there besides Tom and
Tim? Who are the Riverdale idiots?
Cole Sprouse.
No, KJ Appa. KJ Appa goes in fucking F tier for that video that I keep seeing on Twitter. So yeah.
Yeah.
What else did we do? Don't Look Up.
I read fucking comic books, you guys. I read a good amount of comics. I read a good amount of comics.
Those aren't real. Those don't exist. Those are a lie by the CIA.
They're bullshit things that nerds read.
Where did that suit behind you come from? I don't know. Fucking
the movies, the cartoons,
the Venom movie from 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So both of these comics were because Doug told me to read them. And I just do whatever Doug tells me to say. So I read Klaus for Christmas. Klaus is one of the best comics ever written. Grant Morrison and Dan Mora. Fantastic fucking team. Grant is my favorite writer. Dan Mora is my favorite artist. It's fucking fantastic. It is to sum it up, I don't want to get too much into it. It is Superman, Santa Claus that is also kind of Green Arrow. Because Klaus apparently means victory of the people, which is fucking sick. And it's really fucking cool. And like there's the origin miniseries, which is really great, but then there's all these like one shots that are just like they come out like yearly and stuff. And the newest one, the Joe Christmas one, fucking perfect. Like probably the best comic I've read in forever. It's the most like it's just the visuals of it, the way it's a thing that can only happen in comics. I love that shit. I fucking adore it. If you haven't read it,
I need to read it because I watched a good amount of Doug's video and then I had never went around reading it. So
yeah, it's great. It's fucking so cool. And then the other thing Doug told me to read is I fucking finally read Chip Zdarsky's Daredevil. I'm mostly done with it. I think I'm like 3 issues away from finishing. That is also one of the best books I've read in a very long time. Easily one of my favorite like mainstream like superhero things from the big two. Like it's one of those books that's like it somehow gets better, but it gets better over time, but it starts really fucking good. It's like this discussion of like violence and like accountability as superheroes and like comparing them to cops and like this real world like legal debate and like what the mask does, because that's what the mask is according to Dream.
That's what the point of the mask.
That's what the point of the mask is. No, I really fucking love that book. I started it last night and I'm almost done. And it's a really long fucking run. That's how good it is.
And I decided to do the podcast. I decided to do the podcast early so that you.
Yeah, I was gonna finish it today, and then I'd be able to talk about it, but I can't. So
now you can savor the ending moments. I guess
that's true. That's very true.
Turn my.
But I'm a Daredevil fan now. I'm a big old Daredevil stan.
There are a bunch of fucking just good Daredevil comics, right? Because I remember reading a bit of Miller, like I remember like in middle school because it was at a library somewhere, and I was like, "This is interesting," but I just never went around to finish it. Yeah. I made a tweet saying that I started Daredevil and never finished it, and I got a lot
you're a
of
fucking
shit.
loser. You're a loser for that.
I am kind of a loser.
Daredevil's like I think I like Daredevil so much because now that like I've thought about it, Daredevil is like exactly what Spider-Man should be, but because Spider-Man is so big in Marvel, he's their fucking number one character. They don't let him do anything. My problem with the Spencer run is that there's been kind of no like character change for him or like no growth.
A Spider-Man comic has not trended unless it's because it's something stupid.
Yeah,
right? For the past
like the biggest growth, the biggest growth we've had is fucking Parker Industries, and it wasn't good. It wasn't great.
I don't like thinking about that.
I know.
As the biggest growth in the past like 10 years.
Yeah, the past like 20 years. And then Superior, which was amazing, but like that wasn't like for too long, and that's also a different character. But like Daredevil's like he's like I would call him B tier. Maybe even C tier, depending on how we tier out the characters.
At this point, I think it's fair to call him B tier because, like, think of, I guess he's not. He's in the MCU, but he is not. But
one of the show hasn't been a thing for a few years.
Yeah,
you know, and
he'll become
maybe
B tier.
Maybe with
like
the Echo show,
like,
he'll be. You know, maybe he'll show up. I would actually kind of like that if. I was thinking. I'll talk about it in a bit, but like Daredevil's he's a lower level, so Marvel doesn't really care as much about like big gigantic like character growth and changes for him.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's really cool. Because I was okay. We mentioned how Spider-Verse was the blueprint, right?
Oh yeah.
Back to Cobra Kai. There is a character in the new season of Cobra Kai who is literally Miles Morales. He's literally Spider-Verse Miles. Like in every fucking sense, he's not to like this sounds fucked up, but he's a young black man who is in middle school who wears his fucking headphones and fucking vibes around. Like his opening scene is literally fucking ripped out of Spider-Verse. I'm sorry, it absolutely is.
At the end of the episode, he just fucking lays on his thing.
I mean, listen, okay, but he joins the bad karate group, so he becomes an asshole. But if he joined the good one, he'd be the best fucking dude.
Okay, there you go.
So yeah, but
he still does the thing with his pillow when he lies down.
Exactly. But I was like, I was fucking thinking of, because seeing that actor got me thinking about Miles in the MCU. I don't necessarily want that actor he'd be good, but like I would like an Afro Latino because like that's important to the character, and I don't have any picks for that.
He needs to speak Spanish. Yeah,
he needs to speak Spanish. Yeah, exactly. And I don't know if the actor's Dallas Young. I don't think he's Afro Latino. I don't know a ton of things, but it got me thinking, like, I kind of don't want Miles in the MCU as, like, comic accurate, if that makes sense. Because I was just like, I saw this kid, I was like, holy shit, this is fucking Miles. And then I'm like, wait, this actor's 15. This actor's really fucking young. You know, and every actor playing comic accurate age Miles when he shows up would have to be basically that age because he's a middle schooler. So it's like, I was just like, it just gave me flashbacks of, like, the Tom Holland stuff. You know, Tom Holland was brought in at super fucking young, at 19. Like he was an adult, but like signed on for like a 20-year contract. That's like that's a hard thing for a young person to do. Now imagine a 15-year-old.
I mean, he signed on before he was 19, technically.
Exactly.
Because, I mean, Homecoming was 19, but like before that, Civil War, everything,
that's right.
He was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like an even younger kid doing that, potentially because his parents signed him up for that. That's just feels gross. I don't know if something about it just feels weird to me. So like I would kind of want Miles to be introduced as like a 20-year-old just to like, I know it's not accurate, but like, who fucking cares?
Yeah.
You know, I that's just a me thing. I'm like, I don't want to put a child through this multi-franchise long contract.
Is the story worth it for the ramifications?
Yeah, especially because it's like we already have Kid Miles in the Spider-Verse movies, who is great. Yeah. You know,
and plus, fucking Tom is all Tom's fault. Fucking Tommy Holland.
Fucking Tommy
stole so much from.
That's true.
Miles, that it's like, what are they gonna do with that story unless they do something completely new?
Yeah.
With it, you know.
But unless if Ned becomes Genki, which that'd be fucking. Yes. Sorry, no, he becomes Hobgoblin and then he becomes Genki.
Because he regresses back into a child. Yeah.
Yeah. But like, yeah, I don't know. I obviously want to see Miles in live action because Miles is like probably my favorite Marvel character. Like,
oh no, is he better than Peter? Did you say that?
I mean, I made a whole video about it. Sometimes he is.
You did.
You know.
Yeah.
It and like, but also like, I don't know if I trust. So my top 3 Marvel characters, okay, aside from Peter, are fucking, Laura, Miles, and Kamala. And so Kamala's getting fucked up. All legacy because I love those characters. I don't want them to fuck up Laura. I don't want. I don't know. There are some characters where I'm like, I don't trust the movies just yet to handle them properly.
If they do Laura, are they gonna just bring the same actress that they did for Logan? Or are they going to do something? I don't think so. I
mean, because she's pretty young, Daphne Keane. And like...
Yeah. Is she still young? That movie came out like 5 years ago, right?
Yeah, but she looks young. That's more the thing. I mean, they could. It'd be kind of cool. But like...
Yeah.
I kind of... Not to get into it. I think like fucking... Oh, fuck. What's her name? Rosa from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. What's her fucking name?
Stephanie Beatriz.
Yeah. I'd actually like her as Laura a lot. I think she'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Because she's like got the kind of like, she can be fun and like bright, but also she can be kind of a badass and like scary at times. I don't know.
She wanted to be Batwoman and then she never got that. But I think she's doing the voice for, I think, for Batwoman in the Catwoman 100 thing. Which cool. I saw in a tweet that might be canonically tied to Young Justice.
Interesting.
Which is weird. But I am interested because the trailer looked cool. So I don't know.
Why would, of all the universes, why would you tie to Young Justice? That's
Greg Wiseman.
That's a lot of fucking baggage to put on yourself.
I watched the latest Young Justice episode today.
Really?
Me and Doug have been talking about it a bit. Young Justice, the arc that they're doing right now is just, it's good-ish. Some things are good, and then the way this episode ended, it's like, I feel like I'm reading a textbook every time I watch Young Justice.
Yeah,
because it's like, this is the theme of the story, and we're going to explore the theme of the story in this intricate dialogue. And it worked for Spectacular because they were endearing characters, and it doesn't work for this because they're all fucking adults, and Vandal Savage has lived for like 20,000 years. I don't need him to talk about philosophy for like 6 hours again.
And I don't know because I haven't been watching and stuff, but I've always felt like the longer Young Justice has gone on, even into season 2. Which, like, I really like season 2. It's really good. But, like, it's kind of become to the point where, like, the lore is sort of impacting too much of the story. And they always kind of have to work themselves around it.
And when, like, a character needs to have an impactful moment, it's only because, like, the plot allows them to. Yeah. You know?
I don't know. I mean, even the earlier seasons, which are very good, kind of had that issue. Like, that jump from 1 to 2... It takes like a solid 6 episodes to get into season 2.
Yeah, because after that, season 2 is great. Yeah. But I feel like, you're right. That there is they don't ease the transitions in that show, and it's not good.
And like that, I think that's the point.
I can get around the animation like sucking more now, but beyond that, they're making stories that the animation just cannot service. If that makes sense.
I don't know. I need to watch it. Season 3 kind of put a bad taste in my mouth.
Did you watch all of season 3?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, get around to it eventually, I guess, when you get the chance. But I'd say wait for them to like take a break for like 3 months, whenever the fuck they do that.
Yeah. So. But what else? There was something else. I can't remember, but I don't know.
I didn't say much, but I did start watching Succession, and I guess we talked about Don't Look Up, but Succession is fucking that first season. No spoilers because you haven't watched it either, have you?
And I do want to watch it.
Succession season 1, and people tell me it gets crazier, so I need to watch the rest of it. But Succession season 1, Jesus fucking Christ, what the fuck did I just watch? Please, someone help me. It was like I know billionaires and billionaires bad. And it's like, and like this show makes you go both, oh my god, billionaires so bad, and also, aw, billionaires so cute. It just makes you do.
That's not the way.
But then instantly after you say that, you're like, oh wait, no, fuck, billionaire bad. And it's like, because Doug was like, oh, I think this one character is like Clout Mithi, and I'm like, oh, and then I watched the show and I'm like, oh,
hey, what the
fuck? But yeah. But the ending, the last like 20 minutes of the finale, I'm like, oh shit, oh fuck, they did that. That is fucking insane. Okay. Oh my fucking god. But I thought of it in a way of like, I can see myself narratively writing that if I were a like writer for the show, and then not executing it right, because it's so fucking like out there that like I wouldn't be able to execute that right. And somehow the show, and a lot of it goes to the actors, because oh my god, the dude who plays Kendall Roy, I forgot his name, but he's also in The Big Short. He is a phenomenal actor.
Is it Kieran Culkin?
No, Kieran Culkin is the brother. I forgot his name.
I fucking love Kieran Culkin. I want to watch the show for him because he's the best. I adore him.
He's amazing. He is amazing. The show. He is an asshole and he is a prick and he is a bit of a clout demon.
I love him for that.
But he is fucking awesome. Okay. Jeremy Strong is his name. That guy is an amazing actor. He is absolutely amazing, and he's a billionaire and he sucks a lot of shit, but he is a very endearing character to watch, and
right.
I can't wait to fucking hop on season 2 as soon as possible.
All right, I honestly, I see everybody going crazy for it, so I do want to watch it.
Yeah,
I reminded myself when I said that's not the way. I watched the Boba Fett show, the first episode.
I don't know anyone who has watched that show yet. So, there you go.
Well, now you know one, motherfucker.
I know one. Yeah,
it's actually fine. It's like actually very interesting. It's like, I mean, I don't know, maybe just because I don't know when people decided that it was cool to like hate Boba Fett because he was like a minor character. I think get that
when people decided it was cool to hate Mandalorian season 2.
Okay, but Mandalorian season 2 wasn't that good. So that's probably
yeah. But like, they just looped it all in, you know.
Yeah, I understand the frustration with people who were obsessed with Boba Fett before, because it's annoying. The people who are like, oh my god, Boba Fett's the coolest fucking character, when he was in like 30 seconds and like died like a loser. But like, now there's a whole show about him and he gets character and he gets depth and he's actually a pretty cool dude. Like it really is just the Mandalorian season 2.5, you know?
Okay.
And it's not as good as like season 1 of Mandalorian, but like, it's just kind of a fun little, I don't know. I went in with low expectations, so that might be the thing.
Is he in it? Or is that
no? It's just okay. And maybe just because I like Tamara Morrison, because I really fucking like Tamara Morrison. But I don't know, I had a good time with it, and it's not like terrible. It's not like amazing. It's cool. It's fun. The fans are being weird about it. Did you see that thing that was going around?
I did not.
There was this meme that was like, things that we thought Boba Fett was: bad person, disloyal, yada 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 yada, and then things that he turns out to be: nice, loyal, and then one of the like framing that as a bad thing. But then one of the things that they frame as a bad thing is that he doesn't how did they phrase it? I don't know I don't want to say it because it's so uncomfortable. The thing that they said was bad about that the fans are saying is bad about the new Boba Fett, quote unquote, is that he doesn't approve of non-consensual sex. They think that that's a bad thing, and it's really fucking weird.
I don't like that you have to say that. I don't
either. And the reason that picture's going around, I found this out. Yeah. If anybody who doesn't know what I'm talking about, this doesn't make any sense. There was that, like, it's like a chart and shit. The person that made that is somebody that likes the new stuff. So it was like a positive thing about the new things. But then all the Star Wars fans just took the picture and were like, yeah, that's so true. What the fuck? It's bullshit. And then they're framing it as if it's all bad stuff. And it's really fucking weird. It makes no sense to me.
I mean, it's Star Wars fans, so what do you expect? But also that is still weird.
Star Wars fans are weird. Star Wars fans are, you know. It's actually a fun show. Yeah. It's pretty cool. It's not like I just have it on the background, but I had a decent time. Visuals are interesting. It's, I don't know. Maybe it's because I haven't seen Star Wars in a while. It's nice to go back, but I don't know. I dug it.
Star Wars kind of fell off plus ratio. I'm kidding. They had a bunch of shit.
I want to watch Vision. Right? I've heard really good things about Vision.
I have not heard a lot of people talking about it, but I know people like
Mauricio fucking adores it, and like the animation looks killer. I need to watch it. But
send some fucking support to Mauricio, by the way. You see the fucking some people on a certain podcast that shall be unnamed were shitting on him for wearing a fucking Spider-Man costume to the Spider-Man premiere, and they were like, "Oh, look at him wearing the." I'm like, okay, dude,
that's fucking dumb. Up. Did they not go to the premiere then? Because there were like 100 people.
Yeah, and it was like these are the same people that make 5-hour video essays on a 2-hour movie, and you guys are shitting on someone for wearing a costume. It's like okay,
like I would. I'm actually that's cool of him to be like confident enough to do that. Because I could fucking never. Like
exactly.
I was scared to
I'll wear like a red hoodie and like that's it.
Yeah. I wore my Seinfeld shirt there.
Oh, that's much more spirited. I'll give you that.
Well, because I needed listen, this is pathetic. I really wanted somebody to be like, hey, you're Troyoboyo17, the YouTuber. Like I wanted just one fucking person.
Just carrying around a Baja Blast.
Like, it never fucking happened. Hey. And I was like genuinely like I wasn't upset about it because I didn't want to talk to anybody, especially, Spider-Man fans. But I was like, oh, god damn it, not one person? Fuck.
Imagine now if your first fan experience is like negative. Like it's a guy who's like, hey, you're Troyoboyo.
That's what I was kind of scared about. I won't lie.
Yeah. I think you'll meet a fan eventually.
No, I know. I would like to. Yeah.
Year.
It's pretty because I'm a hermit. I stay inside like 90% of the time, except to go out and get Taco Bell. But yeah,
you just have to stay at the Taco Bell for a while, and then your fans will know that as like an impromptu meetup.
Exactly.
Oh, Troy's at Taco Bell. Time to convene.
Yeah, to schedule things.
Discuss plans to overthrow the regime.
There we go. Now we're talking. Speaking of Billionaires Bad, though, that's a theme of the Daredevil run, of ZRC's Daredevil run, which might be why I like it. Yeah. Oh, I remember what I did. What did you? Did you see my tweet about that VR game?
Yes, you really liked it.
I got this VR game called Resist. And I don't know if you guys know this. I think I've talked to you about it, but I have been like obsessed with trying to find like a good Spider-Man swinging VR thing. Because like the Far From Home one isn't on Quest, and like I don't want to deal with getting a PC to run a free fucking game, and also the physics aren't like great in that. They're like mainly just okay. So I've been doing shit like VR chat and fucking like all these like side-loaded games, and in November this Quest exclusive game called Resist comes out, and you have a fucking grappling hook site you swing around on in this big open world where the story is that you're a girl boss Spider-Man that fights a billionaire. It's like a game that's perfectly made for me, and I fucking love it. It's like $20.
It's like they're making a Spider-Man game without like putting the logo on
it. Basically. And it's pretty good. If you have a Quest, fuck Facebook, but if you have a Quest, I recommend it. It's pretty good.
Yeah, indeed, fuck Facebook. Yeah. You know what me and my dad were talking about? Like actually when we were just driving over back to my apartment. The Social Network, right? Painted this picture of Mark Zuckerberg for the world. And a lot of people were like, or like Zuckerberg himself is like, no, that movie isn't completely true, And I feel like we like to think that it's a little bit more true than people are letting on. Like a lot of that probably
I've heard it is incredibly accurate.
But do you know what's kind of weird? People think like, oh, it portrayed Zuckerberg in a negative light. I think it actually kind of did favors for him.
It did a little bit, yeah.
Because it's Sorkin writing. And Sorkin writing makes everyone seem super fucking smart.
Very true.
And like I watched a talk that he gave like in 2007 to like a bunch of college kids. And he is smart, but he's also just like a bumbling dude of like, at least back then, where he was like, oh yeah, we got these people in and we got this. And it's like, I feel like now everyone thinks of Zuckerberg as the quick-witted smart dude who's looking at the rain.
Jesse Eisenberg,
Yeah, and it's like he's not. No one is like that in real life.
Okay, but I will say that the trial that he was at did not do that fucking dude any favors.
That's true.
Because now everybody's like, "Oh, this guy's a scary lizard robot."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But no, I mean that movie's fucking amazing. Which Andrew Garfield.
I need to rewatch it. It's been a while since I rewatched it.
I saw people were doing like thirst traps to the Andrew Garfield scene on TikTok. And it was the funniest thing in the fucking world. Ooh. Like how did we get to this point as a society where the scene about a guy Garfield fucking over his investor?
Andrew Garfield is the king of Twitter right now for reasons that everyone really kind of knows at this point.
But for good reasons.
Oh my goodness!
And we all
hashtag make TASM 3. I've been thinking about it. Do it. Fucking do it. Why not?
Yeah, I'm all for it.
I'm trying to think of what else. Do you watch the new Batman trailer?
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Okay.
Not as many spoilers as people were claiming them to be.
I originally said it. I was one of those people, and then the more I thought about it, I'm like, it's not that bad. Brian, if you're listening, I guess watch it, please.
Yeah.
If you're thinking about theories and you watch it, you're like, oh, that's the thing.
But it's also stuff that was like very heavily implied in the previous trailers.
That's true.
So I'm just like, oh, and that's why I didn't make a video on it, because it's like everything that I already said, it just kind of like
still kind of
unless if I did another.
It is a lot of plot though. Like I didn't want them to show. I didn't want them to show that.
They showed a couple too many. Yeah, they showed a couple too many.
There's stuff related to explosions that I don't think they should have shown. Yeah. That I was like, oh, that happens. I don't like that.
Maybe because I didn't dig as deep into it. I just kind of watched it twice, and then I watched the last trailer.
Just watch it once and be like, oh my god, cool, and then take the shots from Twitter.
Because I do kind of think the first. I mean, like it's a good trailer, but. Yeah, you can't top that last trailer, and you can't top the teaser. Those teasers are fucking. You can't.
The teaser was really good. The second trailer that we got last year, I guess technically now. Oh, last year. That one was the best trailer ever, and I fucking love that trailer. The best trailer ever made.
Yeah, aside from like the Mission Impossible one. This trailer is really good too.
Yeah, that's right. This trailer is really good too. Yeah. It's more plot heavy, and so this is more of a trailer.
I know people are shitting on it. It is a little Marvel-y with like the structure of like tense thing, pause, joke. You know, like there's a little, like not saying there's too many jokes, but I'm like, okay, this is more of a standard
I don't think the movie is going to be like that, right?
There's going to be like kind of dry mentions, you know, about how many fucking cats she has.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which actually, it did give me more like personality from Rob's Batman, which was really nice to see.
Yeah. Because like, I mean, you like cats is a funny line, but like also, he's like, dude, you know.
It's like I was excited for this, but I was seeing these other trailers and I was like, okay, he's going to be really dark then. He's going to be really fucking like, I'm Batman. But like, he was just kind of talking like a guy. I'm like, okay, cool. That's nice to see. You know?
I think it might be stupid, but I do kind of, the fact that Selena calls him, come on, vengeance, let's go kick some ass or whatever the fuck. I'm like, is he going to like try to call himself vengeance? But everyone's like, nah, you're Batman.
I think she's making fun of the shit he was saying.
Yeah, that might make sense.
Or like, you know.
But I just think that like in another like in fucking like a Jimmy Olsen comic, that'd be funny. Where it's like, actually, I was going to go by vengeance, and like I made a logo for it too, but like
it's just a big V, pick up. And then Nightwing takes that logo. But I'm.
Do you need to read more Jimmy Olsen?
That's the next thing. That's on the list. I have it on the iPad.
Welcome to January.
January, baby.
We are in January.
January.
I was thinking of making a bunch of January clout tweets, but I already did that, so I'm out of ideas.
You keep saying Cloud Mithi's dead, but then it turns out to not be dead.
He is actually dead. This is just me now. This is different.
That makes it worse. I don't know how, but I think that makes it worse.
It does kind of, yeah. Like, this is what you get for getting the fucking black suit. Okay. I was
gonna say I did nothing wrong. It's you that is at fault here for not having it.
It's your fault. I wear this black jacket every single podcast because I like to feel like I am Bully Maguire.
Listen, I'm making a fucking Spider-Man video.
That's true.
Never mind. But I need it because it's not in the current game. It's not in the PS4 game. Like I fucking need this. It is the
coolest looking suit. It is actually the coolest looking suit.
I really like the eyes.
Because like it has a blue shade to it too, right? Like there's like a little blue.
The best thing.
That's cool.
I don't have it equipped in the screenshot. I took the Venom falling trails where it's like little pieces of symbiote falling off you. It's the coolest. It's fucking awesome.
That's actually pretty fucking
really
sick.
Yeah.
Because like the Spidey gadgets and shit aren't that cool. I kind of I didn't expect them to.
I like the parachute. A little bit.
The parachute's interesting.
Fun. It's
the
not
trails
as fun as
look weird.
Yeah, I don't. It's fine. You know, it makes sense. I don't do any like what do you call the harvesting tool besides the Captain America shield ever. Yeah. So
doesn't the Spidey milk kind of work as like a stealth thing? Because I see people like they like hang above like a door.
Oh, interesting.
So like they wait someone to come in, but they're actually emoting up. So that you don't see them on the ground.
You just gave me some straps. Good to know. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then they walk in, and then
it's not permanent though. That's the thing. It only lasts like 30 seconds up in the air.
Yeah.
You know, but we love Fortnite. Good season.
We love Fortnite. Yeah. Good Fortnite.
What level are you at? That's my question.
50 something.
Okay,
52,
that's not bad.
53.
That's pretty good.
I'm getting there.
52?
I'm getting there slowly.
52? Whoa, what are you, DC?
What? 52? Like 52? The comic or 52? The new one?
Like no, we don't talk about the new ones.
We don't talk about the new
So now we have new 52, we have old 52. That's
Isn't new? Yeah, because I was watching a bunch of Owen Likes Comics videos again because he was my early high school I call it childhood, but it was just early high school.
That's gonna make him feel. That's gonna make him feel great or make him feel really old. And that's gonna be really
if you're
fun
listening
to see
for some reason, I'm sorry, but also thank you.
Also, on Beyond's podcast, we want to hang out. I want to talk with you.
Yeah, please. Owen, I love
Owen's
you.
rad. Owen and Matt, the homies.
Yeah, but like the comparison between like New 52 coming out and then Ultimate coming out, and like New 52 being the response to Ultimate.
Yeah,
right?
well, Ultimate
was that the
New
idea?
52 would be like if Ultimate was like replacing everything.
Yeah,
and then that would be like, because if Ultimate Spider-Man was the only Spider-Man book and it just replaced everything, I would fucking hate it. I would like, it's a good book.
But we probably wouldn't have gotten Superior, right?
That's true. Yeah,
like it would have kind of overlapped.
But it's like and that's the thing with New 52 with like Wally, like Wally was entirely erased for like 4 years, and then they brought him back as young guy, and they lost all the history and stuff. And say what you will about how they handled the only Black Flash, but it wasn't great. It was a bit of a stereotype, and it was not fun. And that's the only reason they brought in Ginger Wally, because they fucked up the New 52 Wally so bad.
Now it's 1 and 2. And
now there's 2 of them, and now everybody's like, oh, I can't wait for the Flash show to bring in the Ginger Wally now. It's like, no, it's not how that works. That is, the Ginger Wally is only there because DC realized they fucked up. That's not how that's not how that works.
And we like him enough to keep him around,
Exactly,
That's fine.
And then they had him kill a bunch of people and go crazy, but then they fixed him, I guess. And now he's the Flash.
He is? Okay. Yeah, he is.
I've heard that one's actually really good. I want to read it for really good things.
Okay. Yeah. Because I have not caught up with the Flash since fucking Rebirth.
Yeah,
I was like, they were doing a bunch of stuff that I don't
know. Like not after the Godspeed stuff, but a little bit after.
I loved like as like Mina was getting introduced, or like Mina Dewan and stuff.
She was cool.
Like, this is interesting because it's an Indian character, and then after that, I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
I'm gonna catch up
that era of Rebirth of like, okay, Rebirth is over. What do we do now? That's kind of where things started falling apart, because like they lost that plan and they lost like, and then Doomsday Clock was the big plan, and the Doomsday Clock ended up being fucking dog shit. So like, it was just That's which did you hear? Did you hear Marvel's doing a fucking Alan Moore sequel thing with a clock base? They're doing Doomsday Clock basically. It's called like, it's a Miracle Men thing, which was an Alan Moore book. It's so fucking I was talking and tweeted about it. Like, it's given everybody hardcore Doomsday Clock flashbacks, and it's scary.
Alan Moore isn't dead, but he's rolling in his grave.
I know.
Like,
no, it's because he sleeps in a grave. He sleeps in a coffin.
Yeah. It looks like it sometimes. I'm sorry, Alan Moore.
I love him. I fucking love Alan Moore. Oh my god, I adore him.
He's going to come out at that fucking grave with the fucking symbiote suit. And
I'm so excited. That'd be rad.
I'm going to do Kraven's Last Hunt, but good. And he's gonna be
the thing I love, not to get too much into it, but the thing I love about Alan Moore is like, the dude will like shit talk the comics industry so much, because he should, because the comics industry is fucked up in like so many ways. Yeah. But then like somebody will be like, hey, I want to write for comics, and he'll be super supportive of them. He'll be like, yeah, go for it, make art. Like, and I love that about him. It'd be really easy, because everybody sees him as this like jaded old man that just hates comics and hates everything, because that's what they've been led to believe by big corporate media, who is run by Disney and Marvel. But like, the dude like genuinely loves comics and genuinely loves the art, but he's just been burned so bad that he doesn't do it anymore. And it's like,
he separates the art from the industry, right? Because not a lot of people do that. Is you don't separate the art from the industry. And I feel like he probably wants more artists to be in the industry to make it less of an industry.
Yeah, the industry's got a whole bunch of issues that will take a long time to get into. Exactly. And you know what else has issues? DC's current movie plan.
Here we go.
I actually, that was a joke. I actually don't have as many problems with
what the fuck is the blueprint now, huh?
Yeah,
that's my tagline. I don't know what the fuck the blueprint is anymore.
So for those who don't know,
that's all it is.
For those who do not know, Grace Randolph, who is a super reliable and trustworthy source.
She blocked me on Twitter. That's all that matters.
Oh, she did? That's really funny. You'd think she would have blocked me, but she didn't.
She had a thing where it's like, DM me if you don't want me to block you anymore, and I was like, no, I'm keeping this as a fucking badge on my Twitter account.
So interesting.
It was like, I think she had someone else blocking people.
Yeah, I'm assuming she doesn't run her actual Twitter account.
Yeah, exactly.
But this has been corroborated by multiple people at this point, who I don't know how trustworthy they are, but until it's deconfirmed or until they do something different, let's just take it, as not fact, but
take it with a little grain of salt, but it's probably going to happen.
So allegedly, DC's new plan for their movies is essentially, to sum it up, because there was not actually a ton of information, The Flash
there
movie,
are like 4 key things, right?
Yeah.
There are 4 things.
So the Flash movie is essentially going to be replacing Ben Affleck with Michael Keaton, which I think we kind of assumed they were doing. Yeah. Like we assumed Ben Affleck wasn't
Ben Affleck's last appearance. Yeah. That's what they were saying.
Yeah, which let's just go one by one and give our opinions before we,
Yeah.
So I'm not okay with Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton's weird. That's a weird way to do it. But Ben Affleck has said multiple times he doesn't want to be Batman anymore, and I'm happy for him that he's out.
Yeah.
All the people calling for Affleck to come back are kind of ignoring when he said that it was very detrimental to his mental health.
Yeah. And no one brings it up unless like in little bits and pieces and it gets a little clout on Twitter and that's it. But that's a serious thing that happened. It's a very serious thing.
The dude was like in a really bad place because of the Batman movies and stuff. And like part of it is because of the studio and stuff, but I don't think he wants to be involved with it in general.
And I remember the news of that coming out of like, okay, Ben Affleck's doing a solo movie and it's with it was going to be with Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
And then no, it's not with Zack Snyder.
It's just Ben Affleck directing.
It.
Yeah.
And now Jeff Johns isn't writing it. Ben Affleck's writing it, and he's like acting, writing, and directing in something. And if it's an indie movie, that's different. It's a fucking Batman movie. Jesus Christ, the shit that you're gonna have to go through.
And I would have liked to have seen that movie. That movie sounds cool. The Arkham Asylum Deathstroke stuff. And they could very well make that an animated thing without Ben, or have him produce it or write it or whatever. Like. Yeah. I don't think Ben Affleck has wanted to come back. I mean, you could tell in the Snyder Cut he didn't seem to be as into it in the scenes he reshot. Yeah. But I do think it's weird to make it Michael Keaton. I don't really like that, just because it's like, what the it
feels like a thing he's doing right now for the kids, and that's or for Ben Affleck.
Yeah,
and for Michael Keaton, I get it, but I don't think it's a permanent fix. What they're doing is there was a Band-Aid. It started bleeding out. They're putting another just loose Band-Aid on top. Yep. That Band-Aid is going to fucking fall off again. What you need to do is you need to put some Neosporin and then put a fucking Band-Aid on top.
Yeah,
and
I think what you need to do is you need to leave it the fuck alone for a while and let it heal.
Yeah.
You need to leave. And that's kind of what they're doing with Superman, it looks like. With Superman, and this is what people are upset about, and this is kind of frustrating to me. So one of the other things is that the Flash movie is also going to introduce Supergirl. Sasha... how do you pronounce
Sasha Calle?
Sasha Calle. I've never.
She's gonna replace Superman, and Superman's gonna Henry Cavill Superman's is only gonna make one appearance, and it's gonna be like on a TV.
Yeah,
like it's like a fucking
and that sucks. That I mean, it doesn't suck that Supergirl is gonna be a big character. I like Supergirl a lot. I have a weird theory about her. I don't think she's Kara, because they have never confirmed that she's Kara. I think she
might be his daughter. Or
yeah, the Injustice one, universe. Which that would suck for Tom Taylor. Because he's not going to get a cent of royalties for that. But that's just weird to use that character because there's really no instance of her in the comics. I would prefer if it was Kara, just because I like Kara a lot. Yeah. But also, so basically Kara would be the Superman of the universe for a while. Or forever,
Yep.
And I don't hate that as the big Superman fan that I am. It's not the end of the world. There have been universes
especially
that do
if
that.
There's going to be multiversal.
Yeah, we're still getting the Michael B. Jordan Shazad thing, and we're still going to get the Ta-Nehisi Coates Clark thing, which everybody seems to hate, and we still have the show. But everybody seems to fucking hate that movie's happening still. But I'm still into it because I still think it's going to be really good, and nobody's giving it the credit it should. But I think I'm at the point where I don't really take DC Twitter's opinion on future movies as like how people actually feel, because at this point the only people that are like really following it are the hardcore Snyder people, and I do respect Snyder and shit, but like it's
they've been also botted to death.
The movie's over. The movie came out. It's done. I think it's hard to get a real read of how people feel about a thing,
If you are a genuine fan of those movies, I do kind of feel like bad for you too, just because the movement has been tainted by so many people that
no, absolutely. Shit. I know plenty of Snyder people who are very great people and very nice, and they're just Snyder fans, and there's nothing wrong with them. I like Zack a lot. He's a good look. Sorry, Zack Snyder. He's a nice dude. He's like,
I like that the first thing was he's a good looking dude.
Listen, I misspoke, but he's a good looking dude. That dude's a Chad.
Okay.
But like Zack is like a cool dude, and he seems like a nice director, and he makes stuff that I don't love, but he makes art, and I respect that. But he's also done. He said he's done. It's over. I think there's a point where you have to kind of move on. It's the same thing.
Let him do Rebel Moon. Fucking let him do his space opera shit.
Let him do his fucking Norse mythology thing, or his Arthurian legend thing. I'm really into that. That's gonna be rad. Not everything he makes has to be DC related, in my opinion at least.
Yeah.
But
because it's like, imagine Green Knight times the King Arthur movie by Guy Ritchie.
Yeah.
That'd be cool as
That'd
shit.
be really
That's
fun.
what that's probably going to look like.
Yeah.
So.
But the thing about the Supergirl replacing Superman thing to me, not only does it suck that Henry Cavill won't be coming back because he's a great actor and he deserves
especially after what's came out recently of him being like, I've hung it up for now, but I still really want to come back, and then this comes out.
Yeah, he's definitely getting Andrew Garfielded right now, and it sucks. And he deserves one Matthew Vaughn Superman movie, or Chris McQuarrie or somebody. But the thing, so Injustice 2 is kind of doing the same thing where Supergirl is replacing Superman because Superman was a genocidal maniac, and I don't like it. And it's fine sometimes, but I like Kara a lot, but I think to me Kara is the most interesting when she has the comparison of Clark. Like, people are comparing her to him, and they could still do that, but like the constant like having to prove herself is what makes her interesting to me.
That's what made kind of season 1 and season 2 of the show good.
Yeah.
At least for me, is that she is constantly living up to her older cousin in the fucking other side when she grew up treating him as a little cousin. Yeah. So it's like that it provides an interesting
and then
relationship.
she has to deal with misogyny and fucking sexism and like, you know, it's an interesting commentary and there's interesting stuff there. But then they're not like interchangeable characters. Because Kara grew up on Krypton. She's not like in the show. She came here as like a 6-year-old, but she's still like her home is Krypton. Whereas the point of Superman is that he's a fucking all powerful god that was raised by the best people in the world, and that's you know, and maybe
he's a human.
Yeah, and if it is Clark's daughter in this, which like I'm assuming that's what it looks like because the design. If that's the direction they go, they could still maintain that kind of similar idea. But I don't think it would hit as hard. But it could be interesting. And I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt. We're still getting Superman stuff. We're gonna get Superman again. He's Superman. Where he's not fucking going away. You know, it just might be a while. And it's the same with traditional Batman aside from the Rob movie. We're gonna get him again in the future one of these fucking days. It's Batman and Superman.
Yeah, it's just they're the biggest, most profitable characters of all time. You'd be an idiot not to make a movie.
Yeah, so we'll probably get 5 years without them, you know, and 10 movies without them, which like I'm kind of all for. I'm kind of cool with that. I tweeted about this, and then people got mad at me, so I deleted it. But then I tweeted again, and people didn't get mad at me. So DC has a very big universe, a very very big universe of like some of the most interesting characters in the world. Like fucking Plastic Man and Green Arrow and Black Canary and like all these B-listers and Constantine, like fucking The Question, like all these B-listers I would call them, or C-listers, are my favorite characters ever. I grew up a DC guy. I don't know if you know that. But I didn't grow up like with Batman and Superman as much. I grew up with the JLU smaller characters, and that's why I love Injustice, the comics, so much, because it takes the tour through those characters and like introduces you to them. And they're the best, and I fucking love them. And I think they kind of grew as characters in the public eye because of 52, not the new 52, original 52, which was a year without the Trinity. It was a year without Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. And it gave this opportunity to let characters like Booster Gold and Steel and The Question like get development and like get stories. And it was really cool. And it was rad. And like I think the movies should be doing that. Because like it'd be like if... And I know I'm going off, and I'll let you talk about it and shit, but like, imagine if the MCU started and we had another Spider-Man. Like, imagine if they had all the rights to every character already, and they started with Fantastic Four.
They would have started with Spider-Man. They would have probably started with Spider-Man.
It would have been the same fucking thing. Yeah. It would not have been nearly as fresh, I think. I think the reason people were attracted to Iron Man and Captain America was because it was the first time we saw them in live action in like a modern, like, quote unquote, AAA sense. You know what they would have done? They would have taken the Avengers name and they would have said, no, the Avengers now are Spider-Man, the Fantastic Four, and Wolverine, Logan, and like Jean Grey. Yep. And that would be the new Avengers. And then maybe Captain America, just to have the one new character or something. Exactly. And like, it'd be cool, but there wouldn't, I don't think people would be as connected to it, you know? But because they were so fresh, I think, and they were just basically movies, as opposed to like adaptations of popular characters. I think that's why they did so well in that 2008 to 2011 era, And I feel like, so here's my whole thing on it, right?
I don't hate it as much as the Snyder stance, right?
Yeah.
I think it's not the worst thing in the world that this happens. The reason I'm kind of skeptical and the reason I'm on the side of, why is this happening? Okay, is these characters need to work on their own solo movies first. And the way these leaks make it sound is like, okay, after the Flash, there's going to be a Justice League and it's going to be all of them. And then after that, we're going to see all the other characters individually. And I'm like, just show me these, like, do what Shazam's doing. Yeah. Shazam's in its own little corner. It's doing its own thing. And if you want Shazam to meet Superman one day, he can. Yeah. Because David Sandberg probably thinks that's cool. Because it probably it happened at the fucking end of that, even though we never saw his head. It was just a decapitated man just going to eat lunch with a bunch of children.
Headless man, blood spurting everywhere.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. Just fucking, you can make these movies individual things. And that's what I thought they were doing. And Batgirl, as much as I wasn't as excited for it, I was like, oh, but it's going to be its own little thing. Yeah. And now it feels like a Flash movie sequel. And I'm like, I still hope it's its own thing. The directors are promising. The cast is promising. I'd love to see Brendan Fraser back as Firefly.
That's right. That's so fucking
cool.
That's cool.
And they wished him a happy birthday on set, and that video was so wholesome and nice. It was very cute. But like, I'm still excited for the movie. But now the idea that like,
it's just to set up the Bat family now.
It feels like they're doing phase 4 of the MCU before they even touched phase 1. Yeah. And I'm like, show me these characters in their, not all of them in individual movies, but show me the core of what these characters mean to themselves before you tell me there's a Justice League that they're on. Yeah. You know? No, and I feel like this, the way this Flash movie sounds, it's like they're doing Endgame before you can do Endgame. Yep. And it's like, it's going to be a Flash movie. It'll be fun. I'm probably going to come out of the theater and be like, you know what? That was fun.
Watch it be a No Way Home. And it's like, we fucking love it, actually, by accident.
That would be insane. Would be I kind of don't want to love a movie that has done all this shit. Yep. But like, you know, maybe. Yeah. But I just, my problem with it comes in the fact that they are rushing to a Justice League.
I didn't realize that. Yeah, that's weird to me. I thought it was just a matter of, because I wasn't really following it. All I thought was just the quote unquote erasure of Batman and Superman was the issue. The way, so the last point, that like the Black Canary thing that I don't know if you saw. I did, and I want to talk about that because it's bullshit. That's what makes me mad.
Explain this, and then I'll explain how it ties into Justice League stuff too.
So is it the last point? I can't remember. But in Batgirl, which we didn't mention, this Batgirl is essentially going to be Batman Beyond because it's Michael Keaton as Batman, which I don't like. Which is weird. That's really weird.
I don't like that
because Terry deserves better. I love
Terry. Yeah, and great for representation, but it's fucking Batgirl.
Batgirl doesn't need to be the legacy character. Batgirl's her own.
It's not like Cassandra Cain.
Batgirl's her own legacy character. That'd be like taking fucking...
And now she's a cop too. What the fuck is that?
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that sucks.
She's gonna be a cop now.
Why do they keep doing that to Barbara? Stop making her a cop. I don't know. Every fucking thing. This is why I don't like the Lego Batman movie as much as other people do. They fuck up Barbara in that. And it's weird. Yeah, they do. And she's played by Rosario Dawson, which makes it even worse.
And she has a romantic relationship with Batman, and yes, it's a joke, but still, what the fuck?
But it's not as much of a joke as it should be. It's still gross.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
but the thing that I don't really like that she's Batman Beyond, or in the sense that she's going to be the replacement Batman, like the legacy character, with an older Bruce, like kind of mentoring her. Yeah, it's very Batman Beyond. It may not be the future, but it's the same kind of concept.
At least they can't do the romantic relationship shit between the two of them.
Watch them try it. Watch them try it. Watch them CGI de-age him or some shit. It's gonna look terrible.
I don't like that. Yep. Why do you make me think like that?
The last point was that Black Canary is working with Michael Keaton Batman, and I didn't see this in the post, but I'm seeing some people say this, that she was like inspired by him to be a hero, which as the resident Black Canary fan, that's some fucking horse shit. That is like and Journey is a fantastic casting. She's great. She was really good in Birds of Prey. They just didn't do her. Like it was Birds of Prey was one of those like long origin things where like the end of the movie she finally becomes Black Canary, and I'm like, I'm over that. But she's solid Black Canary. She's really great.
Plus they say Dinah. They talk about Dinah in that movie. They're like, Dinah was
they talk about her mom in that movie. Yeah. And like there's some interesting stuff with that. But Dinah Lance was inspired by two people in her life to become a superhero. And their names are fucking Dinah Drake and Ted Grant. and it's just those two people, the people that trained her, the people that, you know, she took the mantle from. Like, that's, you don't need to bring in Batman to this. It makes no sense. Like, Black Canary as a Bat family member is dog shit to me. Is such a misunderstanding of the character, and it feels like they just said, well, we need to do the Birds of Prey.
What's the reason for that?
It's to do Birds of Prey.
I'm confused.
It's because they want to force in Batgirl into Birds of Prey, and they don't know how to do it aside from making it about Batman. You know? Which is weird.
Yeah.
But it's like, why can't...
But, like, she can just work with him.
She can just stumble upon the other girls working in Gotham. Why do they have to make it like a whole thing?
Just do a thing where, like, Michael Keaton Batman and Dinah Drake, he was going off with his fucking goddams, and he was saying a bunch of shit that he wasn't supposed to say, and he was being an asshole to Robin, and maybe they had sex on a roof. I'm basically saying it's also Batman and Robin. I hate you so much. But after that, we don't see it. We just mention it. And then after that, she's like, you knew my mom. And he's like, yeah, I knew your mom.
And that would be, okay, you know, maybe they could be like the 80s was the JSA. And then you'd have Batman, Ted Grant, because like you can't do the 40s JSA right now, but you kind of need the JSA to do Dinah. And I actually wanted that. I wanted from Wonder Woman 84 to have
that
JSA.
She was like a little reference there.
Yeah, she like Dinah Drake would be in there. I thought that'd be cool.
Yeah.
But it's just I have noticed something recently, and I'm gonna blame the Avengers for this. Movie studios have no idea how to bring characters into a team anymore. Aside from having a crazy big, they need to over explain it, as opposed to just people fucking wandering into the same place and hanging out.
Yeah.
Like the Justice League
I think
show,
they're afraid of it being like Fantastic Beasts, Crimes of Grindelwald, because they all just wander.
I don't even know what that means, but yeah, you're probably right. Yeah.
It's that was a no, that's not true.
Okay.
But okay.
But like the Justice League show, that pilot, that opening like movie thing. You know how they meet? There's a big alien invasion and they all go to the same spot just by coincidence. It's really that easy. Like that's kind of that's the reason I didn't really like the way Zack was doing the Justice League. Because it was like, oh, Batman has to go and meet them all and like recruit them, and he's the Nick Fury, and it's like, no.
Maybe just hear about some shit going on in Russia.
They're all just fucking superheroes that see a big scary spaceship, and they're like, oh wait, let me help out.
The more you think about Justice League, the more I'm like, oh yeah, there are some similarities to the start of the Timverse with that, right?
Sort of.
Not a lot. Batman and Superman know each other already. Not like on paper, not in execution, but like on paper.
And then they do the Batman Wonder Woman relationship.
Yeah, and it's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like, I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt because I would like to, but I don't really trust WB right now. WB sucks. Yeah. So like, you're right. I just want them to go back to the Shazam Suicide Squad thing of like, yeah, sure, it's kind of connected. But these are all solo things.
Because, yes, the Justice League is cool and awesome, but you've tried it and it wasn't profitable.
And we also...
even as not a fan of these characters, let's think about this. We haven't read any comics. We are just fucking data marketers coming in to give your suggestions. Look at the stuff that's worked in the past and look at the stuff that hasn't. Stuff like The Dark Knight that stands on its own works well.
Yeah.
Stuff like Aquaman that for the most part stands on its own works well. Shazam didn't do records at the box office, but people like
critically,
it was relatively critically acclaimed. Yeah. So just do more shit like that, and then later when you have the time,
same with Birds of Prey,
critically throw George Miller bone and then do a Justice League movie.
Yeah.
For now, why are you rushing to a Justice League movie when one, people are already kind of tired of Marvel team ups? What's the point of rushing to this right now? And I don't understand that.
Yeah, and to me, it's so weird because that also like fundamentally misunderstands what the Justice League is. Like to me, I love the Justice League because they're just friends with each other because they met each other over time. And so when you try,
and none of these people are friends with each other ever, and they will not be as.
And like it's this matter of like so this Avengers fans are gonna be mad at me for saying this. But this is true. The Avengers are coworkers. That's the whole point. They all work for the Shield and they are coworkers. Some of them are buddies. Some of them fuck. But like for the most part, they're not like hanging out, getting drinks. Not all of them at once, you know?
Yeah.
Every single member of the Justice League are fucking best friends. Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman have dinner every week. You know, Barry and Hal fucking have have 3 ways with Carol. I don't fucking know.
I was gonna say you're gonna go with sex direction, aren't you? You are. Yeah, you are.
You know, Ollie and Dinah, they fuck constantly. Like, so when you remove that friendship and you try to make it the coworker, like force them together, it just doesn't work. You know, it's like it's trying to force a friendship. You know, to me, Avengers are coworkers, Justice League is friends you made, and then Titans are friends you grew up with. Like, they are childhood friends, all those people, you know?
Yeah.
And like it just feels like they're trying to force this hard serious bond with all these characters when there is no time to even know these people, you know? It feels like when your mom forces you to hang out with the kid down the street that you don't like.
Kind of.
And it's like, okay, he's fine, I guess. He's got an Xbox, but like, I don't know him and I don't like him, and I would rather hang out by myself with my DS, you know?
Yeah.
Was that too personal?
And then fucking whoever is going to direct this inevitable. No, you know what? Andy Muschietti is the parent that's like supervising all of this. Yeah. And he's like, I guess I have to be here. And it's like nothing I can do. He deserves so much better than this. I know, he does.
Like, he could make a really good Flash movie, but then they're taking it, and that's what happened with...
For the price of that Flash movie, you can make 3 good Flash movies. And that's not just counting the number of Flashes that are going to be in this fucking movie. It's just in general, you can do that.
It is crazy to me.
Because,
it's crazy to me how they're being like, oh, look at all the Flashes, and not one of them is fucking Wally. Not one of them's Jay or Bart. It's 4... What if it's like 3 berries? Why?
What if the long-haired one is just going to be called Wally? They'd be like, I'm Wally West. He's like,
if Ezra Miller is playing Wally, I would like actually die.
That'd be funny, though.
That would be the most
stupid and
horrible thing they could do in the entire world.
But imagine they would do it. Next trailer comes out, and he's like, I'm Barry Allen. I'm Wally West. What? And the trailer, the fucking thing
Don't do that to me.
I'm doing it.
Although, I mean,
there you go. You're welcome.
Okay, the only thing saving that Flash movie, though, they haven't confirmed anything yet. They could still do Thawne, and if they confirm the Thawne is in it,
it'd be weird if they're not. Why would they not?
Why would they do? Because this is. I mean, everybody will tell you it's not Flashpoint. Who is the villain? It's Flashpoint. It might be, I don't know, because so it's
Barry.
Yeah, it might be the evil Barry. So they're pulling a Doctor Strange too, you know.
Yeah.
It's really weird, but like, imagine doing Flashpoint without Thawne. What is the point then?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
What's the Flashpoint?
Fuck you. No, you don't get that one. I mean, you do, but
fuck you. I thought it was funny. Fuck you.
It was funny. It was good. But I don't know. I just feel weird that like this movie is coming out and people are going to inevitably like it, but like,
I mean, like, because if people like it, people like it. You know,
that's true.
It's just this is what it feels so corporate. This movie, you know, it feels like we're only making this movie to fix our cinematic universe so we can rival Marvel and we can get the money. Versus like, they have no care for like the impact of the Flash, and it sucks when the CW show does it better than you. You know. And I was talking with Doug about this, I think last night. Like, they are more concerned with using their own existing iconography than building any recognizable iconography on their own.
Which is a lot of movies now.
Yeah, it's just a matter of looking at the shit you're referencing
this month. Matrix reboot / sequel.
Yep.
Fucking Spider-Man, the big Spider-Man movie, and West Side Story. No attention. Fucking Nightmare Alley, no attention. And then what's the fucking other one that came out that was big that got no attention? The fact that I'm forgetting it. What?
Was it Kingsman?
No,
because that got no attention too. I was looking forward to that one.
There was another big director that made a Ridley Scott maybe? Yeah, House of Gucci. House of Gucci. No attention.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm part of the problem because I have not seen these movies. I need to fucking see these movies.
We're also in a pandemic, so every time you go to the theater, you're fucking putting your life at risk.
Exactly. So it's like I'll risk it for Spider-Man because it's Spider-Man.
Because also it's my job, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll risk it for the Batman.
But it's like, it's just weird to me that like, this is like, and we were talking about it too, of like how literally everything is just a fucking... not nostalgia trip everything, but like it is just a rehash of something, and you can use this as an opportunity to bridge that gap and like create new stuff, have it succeed, and then keep building off that new stuff. So 20 years later, your kids can, as movie directors, can fucking have something to pull from too eventually. You know? And I feel like they're not doing that.
The thing with Nightmare Alley that really fucking bothers me is they released Disney released Nightmare Alley alongside Spider-Man the same day. And then they're like, oh, well, this movie didn't do well, so, we'll just forget about it, and that sucks. All right. Yeah. It's like, you are at fault for this. Of course it's not going to fucking do as well as Spider-Man, Yeah. Like, what did you expect? A horror movie coming out in December? Like, really? It's just so, and it's a constant cycle of like companies fucking over artist-made, director-based movies to push their existing IPs, and then they're like, oh, the IPs did better than the director-made movie, so we'll just do more IPs, and it keeps fucking. It's a cycle.
And when the directors stop being successful, then all the new incoming directors just have to fucking turn to these IPs, And
then but even then, when the director starts being successful, then they can be more malleable to the studios. Now that fucking Kingsman has had 2 movies that aren't that great in a row, which like Kingsman 2 I don't hate, but I don't love it, and I've heard this new one isn't amazing. I haven't heard a ton from it, but like now that he's had 2 kind of disappointments in a row in that franchise, now fucking Fox and Disney can be like, hey, Matthew Vaughn, do what we say, because you've made these 2 movies that weren't successful, despite Kingsman 1 and Kick-Ass being legendary movies.
Because that's the thing, is it's still the art creation process and the business of it overlaps too much, and there's no real fix to that, I think, because it is a business. Movie making is a business. They have to make money. That's not something we can just completely write out of the picture. But it is kind of weird of like, it's hard to advocate for that when that is just the underlying business thing, because it's not exactly their decision, but it kind of also is.
It's a matter of like and we've talked about this. The studios care more about the big tentpole things that get them $1 billion versus the smaller budget, mid-budget movies that get them $100 million. Like they care more about the big money versus multiple smaller profit things, which is just
because Sony took a bunch of losses this year, but then they'll make up for it because they made fucking Spider-Man. So,
but it's like Birds of Prey was a good example. Like Birds of Prey made money back, especially Birds of Prey came out during the start of the pandemic. Everybody forgets this. Birds of Prey came out in February 2020.
Like, so perfectly well.
Yeah. It a bunch of shit happened. Like, and it did relatively well critically. It did pretty well commercially. It made its money back. And I've always felt that DC should have been and Warner Brothers should have been doing more of that. These sub $100 million movies that each get, $200 million back versus
maybe there's a feel that maybe the reason they don't do that as much is there's a feeling of like, oh, we're just playing with small fish. We should be playing with the big fish. But then
but you're still but it's like, okay, would you prefer a thing that costs $100 that you get $300 back from, or a thing that costs $850 that you get $1,000 back from? Like, it's like there's less profit there. I would say they're hoping for the jokers of like, you pay $50, but now they're not even trying for any jokers.
They're not. Which is
their lesson from Joker. Instead of a smaller director-led movie that has its own problems but was like decent, that got $1 billion, they're like, okay, that only did well because it's Joker, so we're just gonna do more Joker and Batman stuff. Versus,
what if the lesson they took from that was, we have to put that Joker now in the movies? That's probably the fucking lesson they learned.
That's the credit scene of the Batman, baby. That's what they're gonna do. It's gonna be weird.
Is that what people were saying? I know there are other theories for like stuff that they cut out of Batman, because there's a press screening, and in one of the screenings they cut a certain character, and in another screening they did not cut a certain character, and people were like, is that the Joker? Is that the Joker?
I just want that. I don't know. It probably is. I want the Batman to be fucking untouched by this MCU style of like post-credit scenes setting up future trilogies and shit.
I think there will be some post-credit scene.
I am on Bailey's side here, that post-credit scenes are for fucking cowards.
Oh yeah, no, the don't look up post-credit scene, as much as we've been shitting on this movie, is the worst part of the entire movie.
Yeah.
I hated that scene
because it's part of the movie. Jesus. Why do you make me wait through the fucking credits? Just put it in the movie. It's the same Far From Home.
I hated the scene in general.
It was a dumb scene, fucking. It's such a predictable scene, But it's like Far From Home too. Far From Home, like that credit scene
that should be the end of the movie.
It's the most important part of that movie. It's the only thing that happens in that fucking movie. Why would they keep it in the credits? People left before the movie ended. Yeah, exactly. It's all, I don't know. I'm of the opinion most credit scenes just exist to make life harder for theater workers. I also think the credit scenes, like the artsy credit scenes that they do,
they've been shortening them a lot, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like maybe, are they just not including enough people in those credits sometimes? Like, do they include all the DPs every single time? I want to say so, but like, are there certain instances where they don't?
Are you talking about like the sequences, like the flashy stuff?
Yeah, the sequences, like the cool stuff at those credits. I feel like they should be including more people.
I think so too, yeah.
Because like the No Way Home ones were short.
Yeah.
Like it should have been longer, I think. I don't know. Maybe that's more work for animators and stuff, obviously, but it feels weird that it felt so short.
Like, you know.
Yeah.
But speaking of, I have to pee right now, so I'll be right back.
Do it.
But
bye.
Shoot your shit if you want to talk about anything.
Oh, yeah. Okay, while we're doing that, we're going to go through Troy's Fortnite screen, because the only thing I talk about when Troy goes to piss is his Fortnite. Clearly, he has the Spider-Man skin. He has the shield back bling and the shield pickaxe. He also has the spider webs parachute and the spider webs falling animation thingy. He also has a bunch of fucking emotes, and they are all probably cringe. Obviously, as you can see, he is using the T-pose emotes right now because he is T-posing on all of this because he thinks he's so fucking cool, but he's not cool at all. Everyone can get the Spider-Man skin by just fucking paying for it or some shit. He has the Spider-Man emote. He has, is that the sword thing? I think I have that. He has the pointing thing because ooh, haha, funny meme. He has his Crown Victory Royales, which he probably has a fuck ton of those, and a bunch of dancing emotes that no one fucking cares about. He doesn't even pick the right like skins for his guns. Why doesn't he do that? Just like pick a skin for a gun because it looks cool. Don't keep changing them because that's stupid. I think his logo is a rhino. This much of a Spider-Man shield, I guess. I don't know what music that is, and I think that is a Spider-Man paint. So, yeah, that's a full rundown of his entire outfit. Obviously, he has the black suit because he is a dumb bitch. And he keeps doing the fucking T-pose. Like, we'll be in a truck or something, and then he'll get in the back seat, and then he'll start T-posing. And it's like, strategically, that's not the right move to do in the game. You want to stay in the passenger seat so you can protect yourself. But he keeps doing that because he thinks he's so fucking cool. But he's not. He's just a dumb bitch who just sweated really hard for a fucking Spider-Man skin. Which, let's be honest, that's also what I'm doing. So I can't really talk any different because I'm
here. I've returned.
Worse, but okay.
Superman has returned. Directed by
I spend the entire time talking about Fortnite because that's what I do.
But you do
all of these.
That's all. So you have the opportunity. You have a solid like 2 minutes to talk about whatever you want. And
I just talk about Fortnite.
Justify how much you get interrupted.
I could just spew all sorts of fucking propaganda, but I just choose to talk about
You could get
Fortnite
us hella demonetized. You could get me canceled. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have the power here.
I do.
But you don't have the responsibility. Because you don't have the black suit.
I know we're not supposed to talk too much about the movie. I've been thinking more about that line. And is saying must also a thing that people do now? Is it better to just say it, with great power comes great responsibility?
Well, it's the comic line.
Or I know. I'm just trying to think of how it sounds naturally in the 21st century. Does anyone say with great power there must also come great responsibility? This is such a stupid nitpick that I don't care about.
I think most people just don't say that line unless if they're specifically referencing Spider-Man.
Yeah,
I don't know.
She should have actually, in the middle of that scene, she should have pulled out a notepad and then wrote it as the chemical equation that they do in the 2017 show.
All right, thanks everybody for watching this episode of Fanboy Talk.
You're welcome.
Do we have anything else to talk about? Any more DC shit?
I'm trying to think. I didn't have anything else. So.
I forgot to ask for questions, so...
I also should have asked for questions, but I didn't.
Oh, well, we have all those No Way Home spoilers to talk about, but I don't want to talk about No Way Home. We are a Spider-Man-free podcast now, except for this. And that. Except for these things.
Yeah, and that. Yeah. The Green Knight and the Green Knight. That's what this is.
The Green Come.
The Green Come Knight.
The Green Knight comes.
Yeah.
On.
Yeah.
Never mind.
I guess, I mean, before we go, you want to reflect on 2021? Good year, bad year, best year, worst year?
I think that instead of class consciousness, we have decided to hate years. I think that's really dumb. 2020 wasn't the problem. It was corporations and public and politicians.
Yeah.
But I don't know, 2021 was fine for me, actually. I don't know, I moved and there was some stressful shit, but I graduated college. and like I don't know, the channel's growing.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge New Year's guy. Like that's why I didn't really say much about it.
No one's talking about like resolutions or stuff either. I feel like it just kind of.
It's hard to do a resolution when it's fucking COVID.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Do we want to do? Let's do
did...
fucking like top. What's your top shit of the year? Top five movies. Let's say movies.
Yeah. I made a list on Letterboxd, but I was constantly changing it. What? I should know this by the back.
I tried doing like I was gonna do a cape shit one, like I was gonna stream like a tier list, but I didn't know how to do the tier maker thing, and so I was like, you know what, never mind, just gonna do a Spider-Man 3 video instead.
Movies in 2021. Ooh, yeah, and I updated because I watched a new thing. I'll go top 10 because
I'll do
I
top
have
10.
interesting stuff to say. Why the fuck is Don't Look Up so high? I didn't.
Why is it so high?
Loser. It is way too high.
Because you only watched 10 movies this year.
I did.
At number 5 we have Halloween Kills.
Yes. I have number 10 ZSJL. Just because it was great. It was. No. Do I sound like a Snyder show now?
No, sorry. I didn't know what ZSJL was. And I was like, is that some kind of like, is that like some kind of indie movie? That's cool.
Indie
look at you. Look at you.
Movie.
But then
it's a very long indie movie. Yeah, I know. But I was like, it was fun. It was nice to fucking just sit down and enjoy cool action scenes.
For a movie that for all intents and purposes could have been like the most boring slog of a thing, it actually turned out to be really enjoyable and like very impressive,
Yep, exactly.
Like the pacing of a 4-hour movie. How the fuck did they make it good? That's good job.
Exactly. Yep. Ninth, I'm gonna fucking put Don't Look Up much down. I don't know why I have so high. Tick Tick Boom. Tick Tick Boom was awesome.
Banger,
I didn't love it as much as everyone, but I did really like it.
I've been reflecting more on it. I think I'm really like, I didn't love it when I first saw it, but the more I think about it, the more I'm like, actually, wait, I think I need to just rewatch it and like,
exactly. The Suicide Squad, that was awesome.
That's too low on your list, but
there's other stuff on there. I'm like, ooh.
Nah. Ratio.
Master is an Indian film I watched that just has some really good action sequences, and that was awesome. That's number 7. Mitchells vs. Machines. No one talks about it. That was fucking awesome.
That's a good movie.
And no one talks about that a lot. That was awesome. I watched a Hindi movie last week with my parents called Atrangi Ray. If you can find it with subtitles, if you don't know Hindi, watch it. It was fucking awesome. Number 5 movie of the year. It just instantly fell into that spot because I was like, oh my God, that's cool. It starts off really weird, but then like right at the midpoint of the movie, something happens. You're like, oh shit. And then the movie just fucking held my hand to victory till the end. Number 4, Luca. I just really like Luca. It was good. It felt like a spiritual sequel to Ratatouille. Not as good, but still really good.
And it was gay. Anybody that says it wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1 kind of all keep flowing in and out of the spaces, but right now I have it as from 3, 2, 1, it's Dune, Spider-Man, and No Time to Die.
Yep.
And like sometimes Spider-Man takes number 1 and sometimes Dune takes number 1. But right now I really like No Time to Die, but I feel like that's common for a lot of people is this top 3 of Dune, Spider-Man, No Time to Die.
Yeah, that's fair.
They're blockbusters. They were all extremely amazing, and I
didn't see No Time to Die, but I've heard good things.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
I don't have a list. I don't have a list.
You don't?
I mean, I'm just going through it. Number 1 for me is The Suicide Squad, I'd say, or like just because that movie it stuck with me, man. I fucking loved it. And it's
even though you got scarred by the fucking YouTube
upload that's the thing. The fact that after all the copyright bullshit, I still like look at that movie and I'm like, man, I love that movie. That's a good fucking movie then. That's like that shows something. The fact that Warner Brothers bullshit didn't ruin my experience with the movie. So that's obviously my number 1.
Olivia's gonna get mad at you though for that.
Well, they're gonna be mad that Spider-Man is like my number 5, honestly.
Yeah,
that's still. Oh no, I would because I made a list of just like cape shit because that's what I was gonna do. I don't really know where like Tick Tick Boom or like you
didn't rank actual.
I didn't
movies.
rank actual movies. Because that's the only shit that does well on my channel. So I'm like, I'm not gonna talk about the cape shit list.
Go for it.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know where the lists are. I'm just trying to think. Like Shang-Chi. Like I have issues with the final act, but like. That movie was really fun and I really liked it. And like, Simu Liu was really cool, and that character is really cool, and it was really fresh, and it didn't feel like so much of an MCU movie. So that's on there. What else do I have? Just scrolling on through. Don't mind me. Mitchell's vs. Machines. Banger. I'm just going through my whole thing.
Yeah.
This is all last year. What can't? Does anyone have Godzilla vs. Kong? Is there?
I have Godzilla vs. Kong relatively low on my list.
Talk about a disappointing
good,
movie. It's just so weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, that movie was so hyped, and like, I don't know. It
felt like a nothing. You know?
Yeah, and like, especially coming after. I think it's because I came after Kong Skull Island and then I went to watch King of the Monsters, which I didn't love, and it felt like more of that. It felt like more of the stuff that I wasn't into versus the stuff that I was
people were
really
talking about the Snyder Cut like directly after because it came out
That's
like
true.
A couple weeks later, so kind of died down.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't rank everything I saw. Fucking Invincible. Nobody's talking about that. I mean, it's a show.
I didn't even put that.
Invincible
is not TV.
I think Invincible is probably the best thing that can, like that, and the Suicide Squad are like the two things where I'm like, these are the best things. That,
yeah.
These are so up there in terms of just like perfect pieces of media, to me at least. Yeah. You know, and then Spider-Man is on the list. I do love Spider-Man. I think the fan base has kind of killed it for me, in terms of like hype, just like wanting to think about it.
The movie doesn't transcend the fan base.
Yeah, it's not as much. And I think honestly, the Snyder Cut does a little bit more in that. Like, just when I think about the Snyder Cut, I'm like, cool, and I don't. Maybe it's just because I haven't interacted with Snyder fans as much as I have Spider-Man fans.
Yeah.
What else? Fucking. I don't know. It's hard to. Well, okay. What would you rank Eternals as S to F tier?
I took in my movie that list that currently has 34 spaces. I currently rate it as the 24. I did not love it.
Yeah.
And the more I think about it, the more I don't like it. And I'm gonna watch it.
Is it above Black Widow or below Black Widow though?
It's below Black Widow. I think the more I think about Black Widow, the more I kind of enjoy parts of Black Widow. And maybe that's just scenes in Hawkeye that I think you're just.
See, I didn't see Hawkeye yet, so I don't know.
Yeah. Right. Hawkeye was good. People shit on the last episode, but it was good.
Okay. So. I mean, that's the Marvel thing, you know. You have to have a shitty last episode.
Right. Exactly.
But, I don't know. It's hard to do this without actually having a list. So favorite thing of the year, probably the Suicide Squad. Second favorite thing, Invincible. Worst thing of the year, Halloween Kills. Halloween Kills is the worst movie I have seen in like 10 years. I fucking hate that movie. It's so bad.
Which one?
Halloween Kills.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. So okay. But we'll stick to Cape shit. So number one for me, Invincible, number one, the Suicide Squad. Number two, Invincible. Worst thing, worst Cape shit thing.
I can't think of Cape shit things for worst things. I have worst things I've seen this year as like worst one is Space Jam. I
forgot that came out. I didn't even see it. Yeah.
I watched that movie by myself because I wanted to torture myself, and I achieved that goal. I did. The Tomorrow War I watched with my parents, and I felt ashamed for even suggesting it. Infinite with Mark Wahlberg. I saw the trailer and Dylan O'Brien's in the trailer for like a GIF, and I was like, oh, cool. And I watched the movie, and I'm like, Antoine Fuqua, you usually don't do any wrong, but this was wrong. Oof. Infinite sucked. Army of the Dead wasn't fun. Him and His Wife's Bodyguard wasn't fun. And the biggest hot take I have, The Green Knight wasn't that good.
Fuck you. You're a fucking child.
Sorry.
You're a child. Ratio. I know. You suck. That's
I am.
The worst opinion I've ever heard in my life. The Green Knight.
He jerks off in a clot, so what? I don't care. Fucking Spider-Man can do the same shit. See, look at his green hand. That's it.
So I'm going to get a new co-host. One that has taste. And one... Yeah, no, fuck you. I love the Green Knight.
What are you gonna look on Twitter? Are you gonna look on Twitter for new hosts?
Honestly, yeah, I'll get Brian and Doug to be my co-hosts.
Yeah,
kick you out.
That's bad. Yeah. I'd be fine with that. But
okay. Well, where's Cape shit thing though?
Yeah, I can't think of any bad Cape shit. Right?
Oh, What If? That's my worst Cape shit.
Yeah.
Shows.
Yeah. Okay.
That's actually a pretty easy one. No. Sorry. Worst Cape shit. Spider-Man. Fuck. That's such a bad movie. It's so terrible.
True. Yeah. That's terrible.
It doesn't. MCU doesn't understand Spider-Man.
The worst Cape shit was
the friends we made along the way.
Yeah, that was there. I was gonna think of something Spider-Man related, but I couldn't. So.
Oh no! Injustice. Oh, I forgot that came out this year.
You really hate Injustice.
I despise that movie.
I thought it was
that
okay, and I didn't like it.
Doo-doo dog shit in every way. That was our first podcast, wasn't it? Was that our first podcast?
No, that was our third podcast.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's when we really got our groove, is when I started to talk shit about Injustice.
We started shit talking. Yeah.
And
we watched it together, right?
No,
you watched it.
You watched it.
I watched it with
CJ.
CJ.
Yeah. And then it turned out to be the leak. And then nobody told me.
Yeah. Oh, we don't talk about that.
That was really funny.
No, I paid for it. I did. I
paid for it after the fact. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I just
no, but that movie, that is easily like What If was just kind of disappointing, and then had like some good episodes and some bad ones. Injustice was like every single thing was squandered in every possible way. For a story that is very interesting and one of my favorite DC things in the world. Like I even hate Evil Superman, but like Injustice, the comic, is really good. And the show just decided, hey, let's take the good things from the comic, make it worse, and then take the bad things from the comic and make it even worse. Yeah.
That's I on the other hand think it's the best movie of the year. I think it was awesome. I think it was the best movie. I loved when he did the move from the game, because that's all I look for in these movies is references.
You mean the thing from Snyder Cut? Or Man of Steel?
Fuck, that's right. Yeah. That is the thing from Snyder.
Yeah.
I thought I forget that things are references to references.
Everything. Well, Snyder's a blueprint. Everything's a ripoff of Snyder.
That's right. He is. Yep. He is the blueprint. Yep. Fucking. Can that be can this year be the death of the Zack Snyder's the blueprint meme?
Nope.
Do we need to keep with that going?
It's gonna keep going. What was here? What was your biggest like surprise? Your biggest like surprise? I guess. Oh wait, no.
I want to say No Way Home, but like other than that. I mean, I wasn't a big James Bond fan. This was the year I like started watching the Craig movies, and like I liked the No Time to Die trailer a lot, but then when I watched the movie, I'm like, oh, this is like a great movie. Other than that, I say Dune. Dune is probably at least.
You were surprised by Dune? Interesting. I was like, I don't know.
I didn't think it was. I saw the first trailer. I thought it was fine.
The trailers were doo-doo for that movie. The trailers fucking
I thought it was fine, but because I didn't know anything about Dune, and I didn't know anything about Denis really, and I watched this and I'm like, oh wait, this is really good. So it's funny that all my top 3 are kind of surprises, but I think that's kind of the best.
That's also kind of part, I feel like that might be part of it, expectations and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. So you can't get
it doesn't have to be a thing that came out. Is there anything you watched from any time that was like you expected to not like it and you turned out to really like it?
I mean, Little Women, Succession these past few weeks have been awesome. Other thing, I didn't talk about it too much on the podcast. I watched a Harry Potter reunion.
How was that?
J.K. Rowling. She's not in it, which is so I don't have to always say fuck J.K. Rowling.
Which makes me uncomfortable.
She probably would, which is stupid. It wasn't. I think the worst part of the Friends reunion was the James Corden bits, because he's James Corden and they suck.
Yes.
But the best part of the Friends reunion was them talking together, just like while they're out sitting on the couch. And those parts, those small parts of the Friends reunion are better than the Harry Potter reunion. But as a whole, I think the Harry Potter reunion is better. There are just scenes of the Harry Potter reunion where it's like Tom Felton and the guy who played Dean Thomas like meet each other in Gringotts, and it's like, oh, they're meeting each other in Gringotts, and it's like, this is so rehearsed, it feels weird.
Yeah.
But when they're just sitting down and talking, they're talking about like how they fucking between takes were working on homework, and then Chris Columbus says action. You know, it's like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of stuff that's interesting, and yeah,
exactly.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
I might check it.
So it was fun. It was fun. It was a little long, but it was fun.
Yeah. All right. My biggest, it came out this year, but I just scrolled through my letterbox and it came up. My biggest surprise was Cruella. In terms of like,
oh yeah, because you like that.
I kind of like Cruella. It's like, I don't know, maybe because I went in thinking it was gonna be like a part of the joke. It was gonna be dog shit, but like
Joker,
but it kind of is Joker, but girl boss and like not bad. Like
which you don't like. You don't hate Joker.
I don't hate Joker. No,
right?
I'm joking. Yeah. But I mean, I'm a little Joker myself, I guess you could say. But Cruella's actually like far better than I was like ever expecting it to be, and you kind of have to go into it like, I don't. Did you see it?
I didn't see it. No, okay. I know what happens.
You have to go in like forgetting that she's Cruella DeVille from 101 Dalmatians, and just seeing her as like cool lady. Girl boss with a funny accent. Yeah. Like, it's not the best movie in the world, but like I was expecting to see like a 1 out of 5, like a terrible movie, but I got a 3 out of 5, and I'm like, okay, this is fun. There's some cool, fun heist moments with dogs, and like I don't know. It's far more impressive than I think Twitter gave it credit for at the time, and like I don't know, I enjoyed it. And then the other things, I'm just scrolling through my letterbox that I fucking loved, was fucking Freaky. It came out last year or 2020. Vince Vaughn and then the girl from Detective Pikachu, whose name I don't know, who was going to be an Ant-Man.
Who's going to be an Ant-Man? Right? Yeah.
That's a great fucking movie. That's a really good fucking movie. There's some weird shit in it that's a little gross, but like I don't know. I fell in love with the genre of funny slasher movies. I loved Scream before, but like Freaky, Final Girls, The Babysitter, Happy Death Day. Like I just watched all these movies in a row, and I was like, this is my shit. This kind of like
just
younger
fun, campy kind of direct to DVD kind of thing.
Yeah, but they're not even. It's like they're not necessarily campy. It's like they're self-aware, and they're like they take certain like Freaky Happy Death Day is fucking Groundhog Day with a murderer or with a slasher, and that's a fun concept. And then they make jokes with that, and it's fun. Happy Death Day 2 was not good. I don't recommend that one. But then Freaky is Freaky Friday with a slasher, and fucking Final Girls was they get sucked into a horror movie and have to get out, and they use like horror. It's fun.
Yeah, it's kind of the concept of you take a traditional thing and then you do something interesting. Like Edge of Tomorrow,
fresh,
right?
I think horror.
I watched that this year. That's another good one. Edge of Tomorrow, where it's like you take a concept and then you do like an action movie out of it. That's like actually cool.
The fact that we have never had a superhero Groundhog Day movie, horse shit.
Yeah.
We
then the one episode of Legends of Tomorrow, which is the best episode of Legends of Tomorrow.
Yes, yeah, it really is.
Why is there not a Groundhog Day episode of The Flash?
There kind of is with like that initial time travel thing, but not really.
Yeah. He can't keep.
There should be. This is my pitch for the game, but like a Groundhog Day where he has to keep going back. It's like a deliberate decision every time.
Would it be like 12 seconds, but The Flash, or would it be
what?
The James McAvoy, Daisy Ridley, Willem Dafoe.
I was thinking like Majora's Mask, but
okay, yeah. Okay.
I don't know what else. Yeah, I can't.
So
nothing else like standing out to me in my. Game, did you watch *Malignant*?
No, I did not. But I heard it was crazy.
That was a surprise, like really enjoyed thing. I was expecting just like a horror movie, but like I had a good time with that.
I guess what are your biggest other than the Batman, because everyone's going to say Batman. What's this next year? Or this year? What are your
I don't even know what's coming out this year. The only thing I know that's coming out is Scream, which that actually interests me. It could be amazing or it could be dog shit.
There's an Indian movie I'm looking forward to. What are some actual Hollywood movies I'm looking forward to?
I don't know anything about what's coming out. Oh, Spider-Verse, duh. Spider-Verse 2.
Spider-Verse, yeah. That's right.
Which I'm so upset. I've said my theory on the podcast, but it was that episode that we fucked up. My crazy theory about Spider-Verse. So I'll just make a video about it instead.
Yeah. I've been thinking about that theory. That seems kind of realistic.
I think I'm on it. I think I got you. Phil Lord and Chris Miller. You can't trick me.
Yeah. You know what? I'm not excited for, but I'm like, okay, I'll finally get to watch it. Top Gun Maverick.
That's right. They filmed that here.
Mission Impossible is. Oh, they did?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But Mission Impossible is also coming out.
The news was constantly talking about it. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
And people said Miles Teller was an asshole, which I don't know if that's happening, but sucks. Maybe he is. Who knows? But
the funny thing about them filming Top Gun here was it was like the right wing news, the super conservative news was like Top Gun, a great landmark achievement. That is the gayest movie ever made. And it's so homoerotic and it's great and I love it for that. But it's so funny to see all like the really right wing people be like, oh my god, Top Gun, such a great film.
Which that's another thing I need to watch, the Val Kilmer documentary thing that came out.
I need to too. I really want to watch that. I've heard good things about that.
So, because it's cool. Because it's like, from what I hear, it's like, because he didn't make it to post it on YouTube, right? He made it for himself.
That's where the good shit really is. Cool. I need to.
What
was the thing you missed out on that you think that you want to watch this year besides the Val Kilmer thing? Like,
so I guess I missed out on Succession, but I'm getting back into it. What came out this year?
Is there anything that like you just missed out in theaters, or like you're like, oh, I want to see that, but you? Because for me, it's Squid Game. I never watched that. I totally missed all the hype.
I never watched Squid Game either. I never got into it. I watched
it's one of those things where it was like, this is too hyped up, but
Yeah,
I know. I'm
watch
sure it's good.
Alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what. There are like some games, I guess.
Oh yeah,
like,
I missed out on a lot of games because games are expensive, and I just play Fortnite.
Yeah, exactly. I never got into what was the big one this year?
Guardians.
Fucking. I'm trying to think. Why can't I fucking? I was gonna say The Last of Us. No, that's last year. What the fuck came out this year? That was big?
Cyberpunk. No, that came out last year.
No, that was
bad.
Last year. Were they all like at the tail end of last year, and I'm forgetting? Maybe I'm just thinking of them as this year.
I mean, like what? Like there was It Takes Two that won all the awards.
Yeah.
Like what do you think? Like
I thought I missed out on a big AAA game this year just because I wasn't playing anything.
I'm
just fucking.
You're not thinking of the Guardians game?
Maybe it is that.
Because I missed out on that
because
one.
people were saying it was good.
Yeah.
And like I never got to check it out.
It's like on sale now. I was gonna pick it up, but then I was like, wait, I can't afford it, even on sale.
It's not gonna fucking run on my PC, but I'll watch cutscenes. But it's also I want to play it because it's
it looks like a fun Mass Effect type thing.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But
I don't have anything else really.
I don't have anything
but
else
I'm excited. I don't know if I'm more excited for Mission Impossible 7 or Batman. If I'm going to be honest, it's just Batman.
That's right. Because you're obsessed.
But
yeah.
I'm obsessed with Mithi.
I was going to be like, what the wait, I was like, wait, is this the question? But then I'm like, oh yeah, this is Mithi I'm talking to.
But I think Batman inches it out. Like,
yeah.
But it's close.
I just like, gonna be a good I'm not going to see Mission Impossible in theaters, which like sucks because I would like to. Yeah. But like the Batman, I'm buying like 4 seats. I'm getting people away from like, I'm going crazy with those.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to try and go to an Alamo Draft House for it. Because they'll be like serious.
You know what I'm going to try to do? And I tried to talk to Brian and people about it. If my spring break and stuff lines up right, I'm going to see if I can go to New York
you should
and
try
watch it with the boys.
Just, be careful.
That would be so
hopefully,
fun.
If cases are down and stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Fingers crossed that this shit doesn't get delayed.
Hopefully New York. I don't think the movie will get delayed because capitalism does not care about the safety of its consumers. It's just a matter of, I think fucking maybe theaters will be closed. You know, that's the real thing. Like mandatorily closed.
That's very true. Yeah.
Drive-in's got to be a big thing. I'm gonna go see Spider-Man pretty soon again. Come back with Lydia. We're gonna see. We're gonna try and go to drive-in for it before we head back up.
I'm gonna try to see it again sometime these next few weeks, but we'll see.
I need to see it because I only saw it once, so like, you know, but yeah, I guess thanks everybody for joining us on this episode of Fanboy Talk. This has been 2 hours. It's pretty good timing on our end. Roughly 2 hours.
Solid.
Yeah. But Happy New Year, everybody.
Have a good New Year.
Yeah. Spider-Man 3 videos coming out this week, and then some other stuff this month. But yeah.
I might be if you're free after this, I wanted to ask you about some stuff.
Okay.
But I might be announcing something crazy by the end of the month.
Hell yeah.
Maybe. I'm not sure. I'm interested in stuff at school. So expect a film from me by the end of the year.
Hell
that's
yeah.
all I'm saying.
That's a big
cool.
Sweet.
Hell it's a big thing to say, but I think it's gonna happen. Okay. So we'll see.
Cool.
But yeah. All right. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Thanks everybody. See you guys around.
Fortnite.